What up, gang? It's your boy, iJack Pips here, with yet another live stream. I hope everyone finds themselves very well, of good health, and everything else in between of that. Let me go ahead and tell my chats that we are live. Alright guys, hold on, give me just some seconds. Hello Shafi Dubai. Hope you're doing very well today, my brother. Hold on, let me just do something real quick. I have someone on my chat again, he just joined. And I know he's a scammer, so I'm about to delete him from the chat. There we go. Goodbye. Good riddance. And I'm also going to block him. Cool. So, now he's not in this chat anymore. Let me make sure that he's not in the signals chat as well. Of course he wouldn't be. He doesn't care about the signals chat. Okay, cool. Now let's copy and paste this over here. Let's make sure that everyone knows that we are live. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and start this. So hello Shafi, nice to see you again. Good morning gang. Good day, Juicy Diaz. Nice to see you around. Alright, guys. So, right now, what I was speculating yesterday has still not gone through exactly what I had thought about, right? Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, guys. So, yesterday, we said to buy it over here, right? This was yesterday's stream. These are old buys, so they can become buy stops. I'm still going to kind of leave these here because these are kind of entries that are going to pop through as US 30 starts to climb to fill in this gap. This gap is evident and it's clear on multiple time frames, so it's not just on the 1 minute time frame, which wouldn't really hold too much power. But in retrospect, it does actually have a gap on the 1 hour, which is amazing. Why is this amazing, Jake? Well, because look at the divergence right here on the 1 hour, guys. It already set up, right? All right, so let's hold on. Let me leave this white line right here so we can recap what's going on US 30 on the 1 minute time frame. Went ahead and gave these entries. These entries did go in profit and then slam back down, which is the reason why we say to put the 5 pip in profit once you're 30 pips up, and once you're 50 pips up, put your stop profit at 10 pips if you're shooting for the next TP goal, or if you're feeling a little greedy, you know what I mean? But always protect your capital, guys. That is how we become just safer in our accounts, safer in our trading, and we start to condition ourselves to trade this way. We're going to get into a really great tomorrow. SAGH, good morning, my brother. Michael, good morning, my friend. Hope you find yourself well. Good morning, y'all. I hope y'all are doing a great morning right now. All right, guys. So I'm really glad that you guys are tuned in to the live stream right now. I know that other people will trickle in as the time flows by, but this is very crucial right now. Okay, on the 1 hour time frame, it is going to take a little bit longer, right? It's not going to be like also all of a sudden. Right now, we're marking Wednesday. We still have Thursday, Friday, and perhaps next week. But I do see this coming back to this gap. Okay, right now it's just like we had previously mentioned yesterday. It's robbing these liquidities from these support levels. Now it's finding support at these levels. Okay, and I do see it wanting to push back to the upside. The gap is clear on the 4 hour as well. Is it clear on the daily? No, it's not clear on the daily. But it does have a small gap on the 12 hour, on the 4, on the 1, and on that 10. So just confirming all around. Now on the 10-minute, we are seeing a long divergence call, okay, not short divergence call between this section over here of 1010 and now what happened during London session. Now, this is what I was waiting for yesterday, which I said, hey, if it doesn't happen today, then it'll happen tomorrow, and bingo, it happened tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow is not today, and we're seeing the setup happen very beautiful. Let's go ahead and explain this just right quick, right? A little bit of repetition, but then again, hey, getting those reps in gets you prepared in the gym, right? It's not like you go straight into the heavy weights. You need to, warm yourself up, go here, go there. So let's go ahead and do that today, gang. We're going to go ahead. These trend lines that I'm drawing are just, again, visual representations to guide me visually to tell me, okay, here, IJAC pips, divergence started here, which is this lowest point that marks, that marks 1010, and then all the way to this new higher low on the RSI around 3:40 in the morning is actually a lower low on the chart. So we throw this into a line chart even to just understand it a bit further. Higher low, lower low, lower low, higher low. Opposites, divergence, perfect. What would we be doing, right? Where's our step process? So step one is to find divergence. Go ahead and kind of zoom this in a little bit more. Step one is to find divergence, y'all. Step two is to draw a trend line. Where do we draw our trend line? How do you draw your trend line for this strategy, IJAC pips? All right, gang. So we grab it from the last level of resistance, and we literally just shoot it through. Okay. We have to draw the trend line. This is the actual trend line, not the visual representation. This is the trend line. We need to draw it on top of one of the red candles that print out. Recovery followed by bleed out candle. But unfortunately, on this red candle, we see that it is piercing through these candles, and that is a no-go in our strategy. So we would have to chase for the next red candle. All right, so we just went from this red candle to now this red candle on top of the wick, kissing the corner of the candle. That's how we like to do it. We see that price goes ahead and has a little bit of a mild rejection and starts to push back down. That's fine, okay? Don't trip out. It's not that it's showing divergence here on top to continue to sell. The move is still going to come to the upside. Okay, it's going to initiate these limits over here. 350.73, 350.84, right? That you can get as snacks. These limits over here will activate as well, including this yellow one for like, how many pips would that be? Like around 50 pips to close this. So right now, let's say it was to crack over here. We're shooting for an average of at least those 400 pips, if not 350 pips. Now, as I advised you before, guys, have the mathematical equation of raising your stop profit through every TP. So TP1, so I could just write it here very quickly. All right, I'm going to delete it because I'm not going to have it there forever, but let me go ahead and just write it quickly. TP1 is 30 pips, which equals stop profit 5 pips or entry. Okay, bang. TP2, I'm going to delete this right quick. I can't put too many space bars on it. TP2 is 50 pips, which equals stop profit 10 pips or entry. TP3, 80 pips, which equals stop profit 15 pips or entry. TP4, 100 pips, which equals 20 pips stop profit or entry. Okay? This will continue on over and over again. Okay? Oops. I think I jumped the gun on this one. All right, let me cut this up. Stop profit. Paste it here. Paste. Perfect. All right, so this is how we're going to do our rubric for this, okay? And what you're going to want to follow. TP1 30 pips, stop profit at 5 or entry. TP2 50 pips, stop profit at 10. All right, TP3 15, TP4 20. These pips, there's still like a good amount of gap between where price would be and your actual stop profit, so that it won't actually just come down and touch it, right? There's still a good amount of meat in that gap for it to just kind of bounce around and then continue to go to the upside. Now let's say that we're at TP5, right? Now instead of writing open for this scenario, since we know that it's possibly going to climb around 300 pips, you would just continue the chart. 130 pips equals stop profit 25 pips or entry, right? Or entry, because it all depends on you. I would personally always put it on the 25 pips, but you know, depends on you and what your decision might be. I'm not trying to completely control and, you know, kind of take over your creativity when it comes to trading. But what I am trying to do is for all of us to secure our banks, our, you know, the money that we're trading with, because we do not want to jeopardize that profit. All right, most of the times we'll be like, oh, you know, it's going to continue my way. It's definitely not going to hit stop loss. And then out of nowhere, the shit just dumps down and hits for everything, or literally takes and robs their whole account. And then what? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in that position. You don't want to be with a sad face during the week. You want to be with happy faces. So this is how you would continue it, gang. Just keep adding 5. Keep adding 5, okay? All right, so that's how that looks like. TP1, TP2, TP3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you just continue. Now TP9 would be what? You add 200 plus 30, 230, 45 pips, right? 250, 50 pips. 280, 55. 360 pips, right? And I mean, once you're up 300 pips on US 30 or even 200 or 250, guys, please take profit, okay? You don't just want to leave that huge profit in there just thinking, oh, I'm going to hit 4 or 500, okay? You're already up a good amount. Even take partial profit. You know what I mean? That's another conversation though, but take partials or just have your stop profit in. Okay, guys. All right, guys. So now This is our rubric, okay? Now, we found divergence. We drew the trend line. Now we're waiting for step 3, the breakout, for us to make a market execution on this. All right? Right now, it's kind of showing that Wyckoff method right here. All right, coming down. It might come down one more time and then finally pop back in. But so far, this is what we have. Let's go ahead and tune into the 1 minute to recap what happened yesterday when we dropped those entries, okay? So now we can go ahead and delete this right here, my visual representations, because we're no longer using them. At least this one we are. This line we are, because we're kind of measuring that divergence, okay? So let's leave those in. This was the divergence from yesterday that it showed, okay, divergence on divergence, but it kept climbing up higher, showing higher lows, all right? Then we waited for it, boom, it finally broke out, and this was our entry, this was our advanced entry. Y'all remember? Hopefully you guys do remember, and you guys have good memories. If not, stop smoking the ganja, guys. Not going to work out for good memory, all right? All right, cool. So 50%, y'all, of this candle, hold on, 50% of this candle is this right here. It is a little offset because it should be exactly here, but what I did was kind of take out the millipip too and just change it for a 0 because it looks better flush. When you guys put it into your MetaTrader 4 or your broker, it's just easier to remember 35080 or 3570 or 3580 instead of like, you know, 35184. You know what I mean? It's for what? You know, what 1-2 millipips is not really going to make too much of a difference. So that's what we had it. Okay, it did touch the entry, went up, came back down, took off on the beams. All right, so went up for a total of 123 pips yesterday. Then what happened? All right, so then it went back into it, hit TP1 at 30 pips. You see that? Touched our entry, went up 30 pips. Okay, then it slammed a little bit down. Ooh, scary. Okay, how much were we in drawback? Around, let's just say 30 pips on our regular entry. How much drawback were we on our advanced entry? Let's just say around 25 pips, okay? And then what happened? Then it shot through advanced entry into 80 pips of profit of the advanced and 75 pips of profit. It came back down, did not touch entry again, okay? Got close to it, and then it came back up to kind of around the same measurement as it did before, so we're not really going to have to do that again, but that was a great call. Yes or no? Yes or yes? Yes. Okay. Touched our entry, went up 75 pips. Touched our advanced entry, went up 85 pips. Well, let's just say 80 pips, okay? And 80 and 75, 70 and 70, 140, plus another 10, 150 pips yesterday. That was the signal dropped yesterday, all right? These were the entries. I left them there for y'all. Okay, again, on our live stream, which is literally right here. Let me go ahead and mute it. I think we're over here, kind of 3 hours into it. Where is it? Okay, so it's NASDAQ. This is still NASDAQ gas pack. I think I did like one last analysis. Still on NASDAQ gas pack. Okay, that was the last one I did. Me talking about the thing. We were talking about silver. Yeah, we did a bunch of stuff yesterday. I'm not really quite sure where it's at, but guys, just believe me when I tell you that the signals were dropped at a very decent time and that you would have definitely been popped back at entry. Okay, I don't quite remember where exactly I had it, but just know that these entries were popped in, right? We were set on the live stream and then it went up, okay? After that, it showed, oh, I'm sorry guys, I'm getting a call. Give me 1 second. Alright guys, and we're back. Thank you so much for waiting patiently. Got a phone call. It was a little important, but we're done. What do you mean by stop profit? Is the same as take profit, stop loss, stop profit? No. Basically, take profit is what we're actually going to, right? So take profit, guys, is the 200, is the 150, is what we're trying to hit, okay? Take profit is 30 pips, but it all depends on you, okay? Let's say in this example, all right, you were up. When it hit the entries, you were up how much pips? 75 pips. Some of us, right, just dilly-dally, and they're like, oh, you know, I'll hit 80 pips. I can hit 80 pips. And then you continue to have the greed on you, and then it reverses as it did right here, hits your stop loss, and you just lost your account. So stop profit is where you put your stop loss, okay? So stop loss is stop profit. Take profit is where you should take profit, but it all depends on you. Trail your stops then, absolutely. Stop profit is trailed stop loss to protect capital. Okay? All right, y'all. Take profit equals limit order then? I guess it would equal that. I'm not quite sure what the actual limit order is. Limit order. Let me see. Limit order. Well, no. Limit order is a buy limit / sell limit. So, no, it wouldn't actually be a limit order. Any update on Bitcoin? Yes, let's go ahead and go through it. All right. Oh, we can't hear anything. Hopefully you could hear something. All right, let me go ahead and put this back where it goes. US 30, awesome. So, trail your stops then, yes, trail your stops. Is the same, is take profit, stop loss, stop profit. Stop loss is stop profit, okay? Raising your stop loss above wherever you have it. Let's say you have it negative 30 pips and that's your stop loss. Having your stop loss at now a positive, right, above your entry just prevents you from losing any money, and you're still making at least 5, 10, 15, 20 pips, whatever it might be, wherever you might find yourself, okay? So in these examples, it went up 70 pips. Okay, that's beyond TP2. TP2 says stop profit at 10 pips. So once you're up 50 pips, okay, you're putting your stop profit, which it would be an example, this red line, 10 pips above this entry, above your entry, okay? So write it exactly there on the nickel. That would be now your stop profit for price to continue to go upward, right? But if whatever reason it reverses like it did over here, Okay, you're stopped out at positive 10 pips. You just made $10, $20, $30, whatever it would be your lot size on US30. Okay, and that way you're protecting your capital. Now, what I would do is be less greedy and just kind of take the 70 pip profit. Okay, here, now that it's 9:40, we are seeing a bit of divergence kind of popping by. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. There's still no red candle for us to jot it off the 1 hour. Off the 10-minute though, it's giving us now the signal because now it popped through. All right, so let's delete these old limits and let's make new limits. These over here, you can have them as kind of as buy stops, okay, for it to go ahead and continue to raise to hit our level. All right, so these would be re-entries already. When you're positive down here, because we're going to get entries down here, once you're positive, let's say up 200 pips, you're entering at another one, you're entering at another buy stops, okay, depending on how big your account is, depending on what you can handle. Guys, do not over trade, okay, and do not trade a second entry unless your first one's in profit and you already have it in stop profit, okay. That's the way that we protect the capital. More about that as we continue. Are you able to hear now? All right, so far my microphone is working. It is saying that it's working, so please do let me know if it's not working for whatever reason, and then I'll go ahead and fix that. So on the 10-minute time frame, now that we have all of our stuff, we kind of, all right, cool. So on the 10-minute time frame, we are seeing everything already be drawn, okay? Green followed by red trend line. This candle went ahead and broke out of it. So our limit would be really tight with the trend line right here. That's our buy limit. All right, 35.90, 35.94. And your advanced buy limit would be at the lowest trading candle, 50%, okay? So let's go ahead and chart that up. Advanced buy limit at 34933. All right, that is the signal for the 10-minute time frame. Now on the 1-minute time frame, we do see it kind of taking off, right? But it's still kind of early. It's just opening up volatility in the market from 9:30 over here-ish. It didn't really swing so high and so low as some 9:30s that some opens literally like just crashed down hard. This has opened up around 124 pips of volatility. So let's see when she'll show kind of divergence here on the top of this piece, hitting these resistance, and then maybe selling back down to hit our entry, okay? We'll stay aware of that, team. But right now, this is what we have, okay? Under the 1 hour time frame, this is also what we have. We wanted to fill in this gap. These are buy stops, okay? All right, so I'm going to write these as snacks as to say, right, that these entries are basically nothing more than a little bit more pips to reach to our goal. Now, why would we know that these entries would smack and go ahead and hit? Because they were prior buy limits that we had in the market, okay? And we know that it's going to fill in this gap. Understanding that it will go ahead and hit this gap, we already know that these limits, right? Once we're up on these limits, right? Let's say we're up already 184 pips. It'll protect us from drawback here to continue another 160. Then this one will activate 130. And then this one finally our 50 pip, okay? To kind of range for around like 500, 400 pips off this move. We should be able to kind of really take advantage of what the market's showing us. Because again, I've told you guys, on our ideas, we've seen gaps in the market before. This gap right here, and it slammed down to the gap and filled it in, okay? This was US 30 on the 15-minute not that long ago, all right? The gap was filled in. On Xrp 30 as well, it had that gap right here, and then it closed it in, okay? Closed in that information. So we know that it's going to close in this information here on top, and we're going to want you to be the most profitable around, and also kind of push your account just really heavily to the upside. If you guys have any questions, please do leave them down below. Please do engage with me in the comment section. I do read the comments very frequently. And if you have any pairs that you'd like me to analyze, then I'll go ahead and do that for you as well. Let's go ahead and delete the old information, kind of just have just this out right here. Perfect. So this is it, guys. This is everything. Let me just kind of bring this in like this, up, so I can kind of print this out. Where's my text at? Perfect. I want to show you. I want to show you how to be alive. Okay, perfect. Oh, I forgot to do something. I wanted to write the limits here as well. So it's kind of like automatic for everyone that's seeing it. 83, 353, 35, 33.5, 35, 33.5. Buy saw stack snack 3 is 35, 410. Perfect. All right, everything's great. I'll go ahead. Yep, everything looks fire. All right, perfect. We see it kind of coming back down, guys. We're going to see it touch our entry again. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. All right, perfect. I go ahead and sent it. Now I'm able to print this out, give it to my team. There it is. All right, perfect. So that's already put in. That's great. Alrighty then, team. Are you still live? I know I am late to the party. Yes, Trudy, we are still live. True. Yep. We're still live. These buy limits are basically the ones that I'm waiting for them to hit. Okay, we would want to see it touch. I think it touched already, and it went up, pumped up. I think it probably even hit TP1 already. Let's go ahead and kind of minimize this, minimize it again. I feel like it just touched just now, and you'd be up 25 pips. It kind of did wick touch, but it all depends on your broker if you were set in or not. Okay? Don't be alarmed. I still see it coming back down, bopping around this area, and then finally starting to take off to the upside. On the 10-minute time frame, we can see that huge impulse candle kind of wick resistance, right? Kind of wicked off back to the downside, might touch over here, right? Might touch our advanced buy limit and then start to push to the upside. All right, let's just kind of give it some time. Either that or this will be that ST in phase B, okay? And then it's just going to now touch it and start to thunderbolt to the upside, which is what I would like for it to do. On the 1 hour time frame, we're still a little bit early on this call, okay, on this overall thing, because we would want it to kind of print out the Wyckoff schematic, which will end up touching advanced buy limit and then shooting, skyrocketing up and touching this over here, which would be around 540 pips on this one entry of the advanced buy limit. That is a hell of pips, guys. $540 on just that entry. And if not, it'll touch already our regular buy limit and go up around 360 pips. So we are looking at a monster trade right here in the making. We already have it completely strapped up, locked in, and loaded. So there's not much to kind of look at US30 anymore. These are basically, this is what it's gonna do. This is what's gonna happen. I'm totally solid on this idea, and I'm not backing down from it. So this is what it is. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Japan 225. Okay, perfect. So Japan 225, right? We kind of told the guy that it was already high, right? What we would want to see is for price to come back higher but lower on the RSI. And did that happen? Yes. I think this was one bad eye. Okay. Honestly, guys, trading is so much fun when you know exactly what's going to happen in the markets. I mean, it's not every single time, but it's most of the time. I think it was one bad eye. Da, 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 da. Let's go up. It was like around here. Do, 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 do. All right, Trudy wanted Euro USD and SHIB USD, and one bad eye, I think, was the one. Yep, at Japan 225. Okay, let's see. SP, 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 Japan 225. Look at that beautiful markup right there, guys. We were at this mountain right here. We said it's going to come down. It's going to raise up higher, showing divergence on our chart to then set up for the sell for Japan 225, all right? So everything's no cap on this channel, guys, all right? We're underdogs in the making, guys. We are climbing the charts, we're climbing an audience, we're climbing in everything. It just takes a little bit of time, right? It takes some time to adjust people into a kind of like a different way of looking in the market instead of just support and resistance or, Bollinger Bands or something like that, But divergence strategy, guys, is goated. Shit is goated. This strategy is goated. Look at it. Look at that structure. Came down, right? We said it was going to come back up, hit this circle, then kind of wobble around. All right, well, let's see what happened with Japan 225. Let's see if we're bullshitting or if it's all exactly what we said it would be, right? Look at this. Went down, right? That was the structure. Before it hit this circle, went up. How many pips? 385 pips, all right? So one bad eye must have had one great day yesterday. QQQ, let's go ahead and do it. All right, QQQ. Now, this right here is perfect. Why? Because now it's the highest tip. This made lower highs, yet higher highs. So, what is the last green candle, okay? The highest trading candle on this chart is this one right here. All right, so red followed by green. This is where you would draw the trend line. So, let's delete this over here. It's contesting here at 3,199. Now it could take off just a little bit higher, like we were drawing over here. It might come down, go a little bit higher, and then finally break through that trend line. All right. From the last level of support, this is what it's looking like. I would want to have drawn, the trend line over here, but it will chomp through some candles, so it does need to give it just a little bit of more time. But it's doing exactly what we wanted it to do. So in good faith, it will drop. QQQ, I guess QQQ Investco QQQ Trust. QQQ under what time frame? Because QQQ looks like it might want to drop. If it's QQQ from capital.com, I'm not sure if you're using that broker, capital.com. You're stating the 1 minute. I do see the divergence for the 1 minute. I do see this small gap that it might want to close in on the 1 minute. So it does look like it would want to buy up, kind of close in this small little gap right here. We do see divergence from this to this. We see green followed by red trend line from the last level of resistance. And we see the breakout happen around right here. Turn that green. Let's turn this into 60 or just 70. All right, so 38.70. This possibly would be your buy limit, and then advanced buy limit down at this lowest trading candle, 50% of this. Let's make this into a 0 or into a 5, whichever you find more comfortable. Okay, so perfect. This is what that looks like on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, we do have that small gap. Let's see if we have that small gap on the 5. Let's see if we have that small gap on the 10. All right, so we are seeing that gap on multiple time frames. Now, when you tune into the higher time frames, we are seeing that this does need a little bit more time for it to come back up and hit that gap. On the 1 hour though, what kind of intrigues me a lot all right, cool. So what intrigues me is these gaps. Honestly, I really don't trade QQQ as much. You do see these gaps down here, which is a little alarming because what would that mean really? Would it mean that it would want to drop and stuff? It looks very gappy, but it does like to fill in the gaps just like every other stock or pair, right? Gap filled in, gap open, gap open. So looks like it's kind of overdue for that sell. Let's look at the daily. Yep, the daily also has that huge divergence kind of pushing to the upside. It looks interesting. It looks interesting. On the 1 hour, it does say that it wants to sell because of this right here and the continuation up forth. Even though we are looking for buys on the smaller time frame, we don't know if the push will be down and then grab support, then push up, okay, because of the conflicting. This pushing to the side, this is higher. Let's go ahead and stretch this out to confirm that this candle is indeed at a higher level than before. Yes, it is. Divergence started over here at 1330, then it went all the way through to 1230, okay? Reds, we don't see a green candle yet for us to throw in that trend line from the last level of support, which would be over here, okay? So we would be waiting for a green candle to show to then be able to draw this trend line under that green candle and then expect for it to break this trend line to the downside and then maybe fill in this gap, which would be your first target area. And then maybe it'll stoop down to this last level of resistance, which is new support. And then maybe grab some support and come back up, okay? So on the 1 hour, I do see the sell coming through on the 1 hour. On the 1 minute that you're trading, okay, I would want it to kind of touch these entries and fill in this small gap and then come back down, okay? That's what we're seeing right now, Michael. I hope that kind of concurs with your analysis as well. I think the gap is from yesterday close, omits overnight data. Okay, absolutely. So that's what we see, bro. All right, once you're up 30 pips on this, remember, either take the 30, all right, either take the 30 or put your stop profit at 5, all right, stop loss at 5 pips if you're then going for 50 pips, all right? But if you yourself, that you trade this a little bit more, if you know that it might not come to this gap because it's a fresh gap and it might target the other ones, then I would be waiting for a sell, okay? On the 1 hour. Now, on the 1 minute, it does show divergence back. Okay, so it shows divergence here. When a pump fake came back down, showed a little bit more divergence, then showed more divergence, and that's the third time. Number 3 is that number, right, that we kind of look for when this is not abiding by divergence the very first time that it comes around. You wait for the 1, 2, 3. And then it smacks, just like US 30 did yesterday on the 1 minute time frame, which then I waited for that 1, 2, 3 action, and then we posted up our entries, which was around here. So it did 1. Where was it? Was this today? That was today. Yesterday was down here. Okay. So it did that 1 divergence, 2 divergence, 3rd divergence. Okay. So 1 over here, which was way up here, 1. Then it did 2 over here, 2. Then it did 3. 1, 2, 3, bang, bingo. So hopefully it'll do exactly the same for our pair QQQ. All right. This kind of touched in after drawing it and did go up 80 pips, around 80 pips. Came back down now, 40 pips at entry. Let's continue to be patient with her. I still see her kind of ranging around this and then popping to the upside, but it does take time. Michael, you're welcome. Please give me any single other pair and I'll go ahead and do it for you. Callum's trading 1998. Please make sure that it's from your region, that you do have kind of your volume set up, because my mic is kind of working, so it's a little weird that you're not able to hear me. Is this better? Or hopefully it changed. Hopefully it's better. Let me just put default and kind of change it around. Hopefully you're able to hear me. Yeah. But please do let me know if you're not able to hear me. Please let me know if it got fixed, because it's currently working. All right, let's go ahead and do USD CHF for Montage. All right, please let me know if you have any specific time frame that you're kind of peeping USD CHF on, so that I'm able to kind of give you that great analysis on USD CHF under the time frame that you're kind of looking for. If not, then I'll kind of just give you a daily runaround of what USD CHF might be doing. All right, 15 minutes. Let's get it. All right, guys. So this signal is already input. Okay, it's set, locked, and loaded. Nothing more than to just wait for it. Japan 225, looking like it's going to want to sell soon. JUR 30 under the 10-minute time frame. It did kind of take off. This was, I think it was, what? September 3's buy limits. And it just shot through the roof, came back down, showed some divergence again. It gave us that buy call, the buy little arrow, followed by red right here. Went up 50 pips, and then kind of came back down into our entries. So let's be patient. I'll go ahead and throw out a signal for JUR 30 in a little while. Let me just give it a little bit more time to print. We got SPX 500. Let's see what she's wanting to do. Okay. Looks like she also came down, showed a bit of divergence, and then popped back up for a total of 100 pips. Let's look at it on the 1 hour. Let's see if it's showing like US 30 is, and indeed it is. Look at this. So let's go ahead and draw this out to kind of give a 1 hour analysis on SPX 500. Really quick, brother, really quick before I do your USD CHF. All right, I'm going to leave these buy stops here as snacks. I'm not quite sure where my candles went. All right, there we go. All right, cool. Let me delete this, delete this, delete this. Let me leave these two. All right, and let me mark this up. So visual guidance from 11 all the way to the side to 3 in the morning. All right, let's go ahead and double click this. Perfect. All right, from 11 all the way to 3. 11 to 3, perfect. 11 to 3, perfect. All right, let's guide this out. Visual guidance. Greens followed by red. Grab it from the last level of resistance and draw that line straight through, okay? All right, looking good. It's looking like a good trend line. It's kind of just tipping the corners, which is not too rough, okay? Let's leave it exactly like that. Let's wait for that breakout, and then we'll call the buy limit. It looks like it's going to be very close to 4523, but then again, let's just give it an extra hour, okay? Maybe like around 11, she'll kind of show and break through the trend line, and maybe at 12, it'll solidify our signal and then drop the actual buy limits for this. I do see this recovering to the upside because of Divergence. So that's what we see happening, as well as US30, just like US30 is doing, right? Kind of going to the upside to fill in that gap. That's what I overall think that SPX will also follow and do, okay? Big brother, little brother. NAS 100, quickly, before I do USD CHF. Doesn't really look like too much. It's not really giving me too much information, kind of just bopping around this range and still has that gap open, which is a little alarming for me because I would want to see this gap kind of close, just like US30 is going to close. All right, so this might be giving us a little bit of vibes that it will want to kind of push back to the upside and close in that gap. Where exactly will it push up to, or where is the signal? I'm not quite sure. I would still have my buy set at 156.2750 and want for it to kind of come back down, touch it one last time, and then go up and hit my gap. Okay, that's it for the indices, guys. Then we'll go for that question of, well, what are you seeing on Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin right now is looking like the Wyckoff schematic. Okay, so I do see it kind of raising a little bit more before. It looks like she's defeated. Okay, look at Divergence also just marking up on Bitcoin. Now, she did have a little bit of a dump. Okay, she did have a little bit of a dump, but it's not too much alarming for me. Okay, coming from the standpoint that this is the highest green candle, red followed by green on the daily is where I would want to draw my trend line for it to then break to the downside. All right, I had an advanced sell limit and a sell limit already set that I had been telling you guys of during my live streams. Okay, over here-ish. If we kind of swoop down, I think maybe even it was here where we gave Bitcoin and everything else like that. We were doing daily signals. We kind of took a good time on the normal Forex pairs. GU over here. Okay, Ethereum, which means that I possibly did Bitcoin already. There we go. So this was our things for Bitcoin. Okay, this was September 1, guys. This was on my live stream, all right? Look at that mustache. Looking great. But look at that daily, all right? So 4886, 4887, 6.42 was the sell limit. And then we went ahead and marked up the advanced sell limit at 49407. Okay, September 1. Then what happened shortly after September 1, all right? So let's count it. September 1 was right here where we gave those limits, all right? It went up from our limits and then boom, slammed down for shmoney. 5,000 pips from advanced sell limit, 5,000 pips from normal sell limit. Guys, that's 10,000 pips on Bitcoin. So that kind of answers a little bit of you for I'm sorry, my brother, but I cannot pronounce your name, so I'm just gonna call you Live 86. Okay, so USD CHF. Let's get to it, guys. So USD CHF. Damn, this looks complex. What was I doing here? Hold on, guys. Let me change my music. All right, y'all. So let's get to it, okay? USD my brother, Montagu. Montagu, what are you looking for USD on the 15-minute? Are you looking like a buy or are you looking like a sell? Okay, let me know, and then we'll go ahead and go very in depth into USD And guys, if you have any pairs, you guys that are online right now, please drop your pairs down below. If you're just here to learn, and let's go ahead and learn. If you're here to get a live analysis, please just let me know about your pair. I'm gonna do it eventually. Okay, right now we've been doing every single pair so far, and even one bite I got to get a great analysis on Japan 225, and he went ahead and bought Japan 225, and he was in heavy profits. Okay, so don't be shy, guys. Be interactive with me. You don't get anywhere by just being quiet in the background. I was looking for a sell, but I'm not sure currently because it's making an upward trend. Okay, perfect. Perfect. You're looking for sells on 15-minute. Let's go ahead and see if that's what we see too. Okay. So on the daily time frame, I was seeing a buy. That's what was happening. Okay. I know this looks a little confusing, but what I had done was that I went on the weekly, okay, just to explain what all these markups are, okay. So on the weekly, I went on it and I saw that USD CHF from August 2020 to December 2020. Do you see that? Let me change the color on this so it could be nice and vivid. So, okay, change the color on this too. Change the color on this because green. All right, so green means buy, basically. That's what we were waiting for. We were waiting for it to cross this trend line for it to become bullish, and then for us to start buying USD CHF, even on a weekly time frame to kind of swing it. Since it was on a range from 2017 on forth, I'm not quite sure if we're able to get more information. I guess not. It's unfortunate. But whatevs, okay? We see it kind of closing in a range and then boom, dropping from support down to new levels of new lows, right? I mean, so far with what the information that's currently displayed is giving us. So what I would think is that it came down to previous levels of support down over here to grab liquidity, to rob all these people, right, that basically were buying and holding for, 10,000, 7,000 pips. It came down to eat that liquidity. Then it showed divergence, as we can see, lower low, higher low, higher low, lower low, opposite. So diverging on the weekly time frame. And then it came up, boom, back to the upside, okay? So how would we do this for our entry? That's why I grabbed it from the last level of resistance and I just dropped it through instead of grabbing it from here and then grabbing an entry perhaps here to eat those 4,000 pips, okay? We need to do it exactly how the strategy is entailed. From the last level of resistance, draw it through, and we're waiting for it to break through to the upside, okay? So on the weekly, showing divergence, climbing up to above the 50% line, dropping back down and kind of wobbling around that 50%. I would want it, USD CHF, for the weeks to come, October, November, even early winter, right, to start going and start trajectorying back to the upside, breaking this trend line and going bullish for weeks to come, okay? That's what we see on the weekly. So we see a bullish bias on the weekly. Let's go on the daily. All right, so on the daily, oops, still had my drawing tool. All right, so this is the weekly right here, boop. These are weeklies, boop, boop. This is daily over here. All right, this was the trend line. We saw divergence here. All right, look at it. Higher low, lower low, lower low, higher low, opposites red followed by green. Draw it from the last level of support, which could be right here. This is the first green candle. kind of kiss the green candle, and once it broke out officially right here, this was our first sell limit. All right, then it drops from that sell limit to then show divergence on the daily to then buy back up. Okay, so it sold 2,695 pips. All right, and then it started to push back to the upside after showing divergence. Divergence again, and then it sold. Okay, so there's a rhythm to this. Divergence on the daily, sell. Divergence on the daily again, buy. Divergence again on the daily, sell. And now we're just kind of bopping around. Okay, we're cruising. Let's delete these so nothing's too complicated, right? We're not going to be like, what the fuck's happening? Let's keep it as clean as possible. Okay, here, this was the last signal that was shown, which was the sell. So we're literally going in reverse. We're going from the highest time frames and then kind of reversing it, backing up into the smaller time frames, okay? Delete these. So divergence right here, red, followed by green. Trend line was not going to be okay. All right, look. Red followed by green trend line. We're eating through the candles, okay? Red followed by green trend line. It looks great, right? Look, kissing, not piercing through. We waited for the breakout, which happened with this body. Again, remember, guys, very huge key. Trend line breaks is when the body of the candle closes down below. So this was the actual breakout, was this candle. Sell limit activated beyond the next 2 days and then dropped a total of, if this is not 1,624 points, then what it is 161 pips. Okay, and I guess this would be the middle pip, 161 pips. Not quite sure if that's exactly how it is or if that's actually 1,610 pips, since I don't really trade USD CHF that much. It hit the high of the day since I heard the sell. Bella 62 arrow. Oh, euro. Okay. Bella 662 euro. What's up? Here to learn. I'm glad you're here to learn. Everyone's welcome here, guys. All right, so USD CHF hit previous high, which I guess you're saying on the 15-minute, and then that's why you were looking for sells. So here on the daily, again, we did see the sell coming through. This was the sell limit, kind of pushed back through, but now it's having a little bit of difficulty kind of, you know, selling. So I would assume that it would want to perhaps now start to climb back up and show new levels of divergence up here to then sell. Okay, so I do see it kind of bullish, but let's go into more time frames to give a little bit more of a confirmation. All right, so you were trading it off the 15-minute time frame. This is what the 15-minute time frame looks like. All right, all of this is stuck in a range. Okay, from here to here, it was kind of just stuck in this box, just ping-ponging up and down. All right, divergence, ping pong down, divergence right here, which we can see. Then it bought back up, then show divergence again. Do you see that red line, which is right here, correlates here, touch advanced entry, dropped, then show divergence again. You see that green line? It went back up, came back down, and yes, these arrows are quite accurate. It does come with our indicator. It does come with the premium mentorship, where it kind of automatically will show you when it's showing divergence and it's about to buy, like it did here. It'll tell you and it'll give you a signal. You can also even click on that on the arrows and make them an alarm. Okay, so each and every time you see add alert on RSI divergence indicator. So every time that it goes to the upside, all right, it'll with the ticker, it'll tell you, hey, buy USD CHF, buy USD CHF. So you would have bought here, right? Would have been in profit 40 pips here, would have been in profit. Not quite sure. Hold on. Keep touching the box. Around 20 pips. Came back down. Right? Drawback 15 pips. Would have been up 64 pips. Told you here. Would have been up 17 pips. Told you here. Would have been up 68 pips. So on and so forth. Okay. Our RSI divergence indicator, the way that we have it, it's at a 59-65% profitable. It does range up and down, 62 over here, on the 5 minute 67, on the 4 hour 75% of accuracy. But again, that does come with the premium mentorship and how I kind of draw down the RSI divergence indicator with the specific number code. But beside that, which you really don't need, what you need is to understand when to buy and when to sell, just divergence. All right, so we were at buy, then it showed divergence for a sell, it sold, then it showed divergence for a buy, it bought. So it was just ping-ponging in this range. Right now is when we see it kind of breaking out of that box to the upside, to these previous resistance levels. Okay, so I would speculate that now that it's ranging up to here, it would want to show divergence again and then maybe sell back down. Okay, it is making new highs though, but besides this being stuck in a range, now it's coming back to this level of past resistance. All right, if we look more to the left, more resistance up here. All right, so these are just heavy levels of resistance where it might have trouble climbing to. Let's go ahead and kind of zoom it in on the 15 minute. Let's see what we're working with here. All right, perfect. So we see that divergence happen here. Do you see that, guys? 15-minute time frame on USD CHF, divergence between 21 and 315, between 6 and 7. So basically this was Monday, Tuesday. This was between Monday and Tuesday that it did show divergence right here. Let's go ahead and just mark this up as a visual representation of what's going on my RSI. All right, greens followed by red, last level of resistance, and through. All right, so right here, let's see if we can touch those. Yep, we could. We're kissing these candles, but we're not piercing through them, and we're touching the wicks right above the wicks of those of the red candle, which is exactly where we would want it. The breakout happened where? With that doji body. Okay, this candle did not break through the trend line. Okay, it tipped through it, but the body is still below the trend line. This body went up. That's when it officially has a breakout of the trend line and you draw, okay, your buy limit area right here. Very tight with the trend line break. So at 91488. Now again, if you wanted to kind of shave off that middle pip for a 5 or for a 0, you're more than welcome to, right? All depends on you and what you'd like to do, right? I really don't like leaving it on any other number on the middle pip section besides a 0 or a 5. 0 or 5. It's just institutional level trading. That's what I learned from institutional trading with smart money concept as well. See, like here, we're at 91359. So instead of the 9, I'd possibly just round it out to the next millipip, 60, and have it at 91360, period. Okay, so this would have been our advanced buy limit here in this area, since this was the last trading candle that pushed down, all right, our lowest trading candle before divergence and the breakout. This is advanced buy limit, this is our buy limit, and it went up all the way to the moon. Okay, now where it's at right now. How many pips was that? Around 82 pips. And our advanced buy limit did not activate after the breakout. It just kind of touched this buy limit and just popped off 80-something pips to the upside, which was great. Okay, so this is what happened just before, and now what we're looking at. Okay, now what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at price ranging to the upside. It is bullish. Okay, so if you were looking for sells but you're not in a sell yet, then amazing. I would just wait a little bit longer for this to set up. What do you mean by this, IJack pips? All right, guys. So from 11, do you see how 1015 is the highest point? Showing that it was, oh my God, it's super overbought, guys. Sell it right now. Where was that actually? All right, let's literally mark this up to the T. All right. So I'll grab my vertical line to mark up that candle. It's this candle right here. I'll draw an ellipse on it. Why would I draw an ellipse on it? Just to kind of guide me, okay? This is the candle, this one right here. That's on the RSI, the highest trading point, okay? That reached, if we look all the way to our right-hand side, right? 77.46202. Okay, that is the highest point. All right, after show divergence and it bought, that was supposedly the most overbought section. Then what happened afterward? Let's throw this into a line piece. All right, it continued to make higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, still a higher low. What did it make on the chart? Higher, higher high, higher high, higher high. Okay, so higher highs, but higher lows. All right. Now we'll grab our trend line to show us a visual guidance of where it has stretched to. Okay. All the way to recent data, that's all divergence, okay? Because this is the highest point and higher lows, and this is the highest point but higher highs, so divergence. Let's throw this back into a candles. Now what we would want to be waiting for is for it to come back down, reds, followed by green candle, to then grab it at then this level of support or the last level of support, draw our trend line, and then wait for the break to the downside for it to come back down, okay? That's the analysis right now. So if you're looking for sells, I would wait. You can even range it into the 1 hour. And even on the 1 hour, you can see divergence. Highest high, higher low, highest high over here, higher high. So in the 1 hour, it looks just a little bit cleaner than on the 15 minute. On the 15 minute, it looks like it's been dragged around. But on the 1 hour, it looks just a little bit more consistent, okay? It looks cleaner. All right, so on the 1 hour, this is what we're waiting for, all right? So it's still bullish. I still see this being bullish. I see it ranging around, maybe buying back a little bit higher, and then finally being able to fall, okay? So that's what we see for USD CHF. No signal. I can't really give you a signal because I'm not going to make you lose any money. If I see the signal and it looks perfect, then I'll tell you and I'll be like, bro, this is what you're looking for. Go ahead and put these entries in. But right now, brother, I don't really see the signal. I see it forming in. So why don't we do this? Why don't we trail this for the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday on the 1 hour time frame, to look for those sells. We're going to short the sells. We're going to look for the buys and then long the buys. Why long the buys? Because on the weekly, we're seeing that it's going to want to pop through this trend line and then perhaps continue on a bullish bias to the upside, okay? Which you'd want to be part of, even on the daily, all right? The daily kind of shook down, but it's shaking up. So we're going to look for the sell in the 1 hour. Boom. We're going to short it. We're going to wait for it to grab support and show divergence on the 1 hour again. Boom. We're going to buy it and hold the long. Okay? That's what I recommend. Is there any questions you have? And please ask me anything. If you have any questions, Monagu, just be as crystal clear as I'm being with you. Just be it with me. Hey, bro, I still don't understand this. Can you go over it one more time? And I'll be more than happy to help you out. Okay? So that's that for USD CHF, guys. If you have any other pair, please do let me know on the comment section and I'll go ahead and address that pair for us. If you don't have any other pair, then we'll go back to look at US 30 and then we'll look at the daily signals for every single daily pair that we have charted up. And it's around 10:36, so we still have like a good hour, 30 minutes of analysis and live trading. So we're doing great, guys. All right, guys, so no more pairs. I'm going to take just a quick break and I'll be literally right back, guys. I'm going to just take a small break, kind of go outside, breathe a little bit of air. Then we'll come back and do the daily signals for every pair that we have. I think this is the other US30. We're currently right here. Woo, let's go. So US30 coming in to touch that advanced buy limit, which is exactly what I wanted it to do, which everything is coming perfectly. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I really wanted to touch that advanced buy limit and just put in that buy and just hold that bid. All right, look at that. Woo, let's go. It's looking great, guys. I'm really excited. All right, so on that 10-minute time frame, you see how I just respected it and kind of dropped back down? That's good. That's good. Okay. Look at what NAS 100 is doing. NAS 100 is dumping. Dumping. Okay, cool, cool, cool. We still have it on these limits, so it looks like it's gonna want to touch these limits and then perhaps reverse and come back to the upside, which is great. SP dropping, that's good on the 1 hour time frame. So it's showing if it closes like this in the next 20 minutes, then we're going to drag this to the left. I mean to the right, excuse me, and we're going to wait for that greens followed by red trend line, wait for that breakout, and it's going to start buying, okay? Just give it time, guys, give it time. On US30 though, we already have an advanced buy limit because it did break our trend line. So we're waiting is for it to touch the advanced buy limit, then start to shake, wobble, and start to recover back to the upside. Okay? On the daily, just in case, on the daily for US30, what to do? All right, so we're seeing divergence heavy, red, followed by green. Let's draw that trend line. All right, so I think I have this actually set up on my other one. Hold on, guys. Okay. Sheesh. Let's see, from the bottom all the way to the top, US30 is kind of peeking through, okay? Kind of peeking through, dirty. Last level was up here, so the trend line has to be adjusted a bit. I've been waiting for these indices to fucking dump and drop and die, but it's a lot of patience. All right, so red followed by green on the daily, and it broke through. So if US30 does not recover in the next 2 days and it continues to drop, we might see it maybe recover, fill in the gap, and then sell back down and continue selling, okay? Because this, every time that it's closed through the trend line, let's say like when we were over here, that it was green, bomb, it came back down, and then the actual divergence was here. Do you see? All right, April 16 to May 10. All right, visual representation so that everyone on this is following through. All right, April 16, May 7, May 10, right? So April 16 to May 7, divergence. April 16 to May 7, divergence, red, followed by green trend line. We wait for the breakout. Breakout happens with which candle? This candle right here completely goes through, okay? Then it drops around 1,300 pips, and then boom, she recovers, okay? Then makes a new higher high. Do you see that? This candle was the highest at 348.16 and then makes a new high following divergence. Okay, so then we have to wait it out again. We can't eat through the candles. So red followed by green, trend line again. Okay, are we eating through the candles? No. This was the new highest high, red followed by green trend line, and it just continued to pump up. Red followed by green trend line. Every time it's wanted to dump, it recovers. It dumped, recovers. It dumped, it recovered. So now that it dumped, we would want to see it kind of, dumping and then start to recover, make this into a doji, and then start to buy back to the upside. It was stuck in a range for, for some days. What does it mean stuck by a range? Well, it was kind of just consolidating sideways, right? In this time frame right here. Before it showed a good amount of resistance and then it dropped through, broke the brick, retested the brick, and then sold for, whatever it is, 258 pips. I'm going to have this right here marked up as we have it, okay? Divergence has continued all the way through. And we would want to stay posted on this because if US30 becomes bearish and bearish bias and now we're in bear season, then we would want to know that so that we're able to short the buy calls and long the bear calls, okay? So I'm going to take that quick break right now, and then I'll be right back to give us the daily signals, okay? So there's a lot to talk about, guys. Bitcoin's daily signals, XMO, which is something I've been telling you guys, invest in it. I do have faith in this. It's not an unknown altcoin that I don't know who the fuck is managing, right? It's a European coin that was announced through TradingView on July 6th, okay? So if you go down to July 5, I'm sorry, excuse me. Data from XMO, a British cryptocurrency exchange, is now available on TradingView. So a British cryptocurrency exchange, they're trying to adapt their own little coin. And I would want to see it fill in this gap all the way to 30 cents. So do stay aware of that, guys, all right? All right, thank you, bro. How to be your mentor. All right, so how to get mentored by me, please just join on perhaps my website, all right, and go ahead and click on the Telegram link, and then you'll be able to chat with me through my free Telegram chat. This is my website, jacobnets.com, all right, www.jacobnets.com, jacobnets.com, okay, jacobnets.com. Join our Telegram. All right, and once you click on that little join us on Telegram, it'll show you into this page over here. Well, you'll be able to kind of just add on to our free Telegram, okay, community, and from there you can send me a DM and be like, hey, I would want to be part of your mentorship, and then I'll be able to kind of add you on to our premium chat, okay? So that's how you'll be able to get mentored by me. Oct 6, 2021. So join the Telegram through the website or send me a DM on TradingView. All right, so that's how you can go ahead and get mentored by me. It'll be a pleasure to mentor you, my brother. I'm in South Africa, bro. I've been trading your yesterday signal on US30, made some money, but due to greed, I lost some. But your live analysis are the bomb, and I'm also going to get some fresh air and then come back. Awesome, Montagu. Hello from South Africa, my friend. And yeah, bro, I told you, like if you're a little bit greedy, put your stop profit. So if whatever happens, then you're able to kind of just get knocked out in profit and save your capital. But don't worry, bro. We're going to continue to make money anyways. I'm glad that you were able to put those signals on for US30 yesterday. They did go up 70 pips from our regular buy limit and 80 pips from our advanced buy limit, which was great. It was a total of 150 pips kind of in the bag, which is always nice to see. Alrighty then. So this is dropping through. Let's go to the 1 hour. Woo! Touched our advanced buy limit. Let's go. Now what we want to see, right, which would be perfect for this, would be for price to just start to now come to the upside, all right? It did show some divergence. It did sell, but I feel like it's going to be over with right now. This advanced buy limit is up 34 pips, so TP1 has smacked on this. And on the 1 hour, let's see it continue jotting to the side, all right? So I'm going to take that quick break, guys, as previously mentioned, and as waited. And then again, as I was about to say and as I was saying before, we are going to go ahead and touch base on all of our daily signals for you guys to kind of take a look at that, have that in mind. Okay, we have daily signals for gold, for silver, for AUD CAD, for some of the JPYs, for Euro AUD, Euro CAD, which was something that I was telling my premium chats for a while to get into. It's currently up 353 pips. Euro NZD stuck in a range. So Euro GBP looking like it just touched advanced buy limit, and it does want to continue to pump to the upside. So lots of pairs to talk about on the daily time frames. We already have US30 strapped up, locked in, and loaded. And guys, we are doing fantastic, okay? I'm going to leave it here on the Bitcoin screen, and I'll be right back. I'm going to just put 10 minutes, all right? 10 minutes on my timer, and I'll literally be back exactly in 10 minutes from now. It's currently 10:50 a.m. Eastern time, so I'll be right back at 11 a.m. Eastern time. What is the site? The site is Jacob Nets and then .com. Okay, I can't write the actual website on the chat, and I'm sorry for that, but TradingView and the moderators do not let me do that. And last times I did that, I got banned from live streaming for around like 3 weeks. So I don't want to get banned again because I do want to continue to help the community and help everyone. But the actual website is jacobnets.com. Okay, so even if you write just jacobnets.com, you will be redirected to my personal website, jacobnets.com. Okay, so that's jacobnets.com, just like I wrote it on the comment section. And that's how you could get access to my website, see a little bit more about me, what I offer, what our premium's about, and also be able to join our free Telegram chat. Okay, thank you so very much. I'll be back at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I'm not going to stop the live stream, but I'll be right back. Okay, thanks, gang. All right, y'all. We're back. All right. We've waited to see what's going on with US 30. No, but pizza, bye. All right, guys. So we're waiting, right? Just giving, US 30 a little bit of time to breathe, okay? So from our advanced buy limit, do you see how that perfectly just wicked in and is now in profit, okay? How much profit are we right now, guys? 101 pips from when we called this, okay? Today. All right, we called it, we had it locked and loaded, we gave out the numbers, we said, hey, buy it at this. This is our advanced buy limit. Smart money concept, my strategy coming to life. Perfectly just coming to life. Okay, look at that. Up 100 points. All right, that's 100 pips. Where would you put your stop profit at right now? Either at entry or you'd put it. All right, let's see. Or you'd put it at 20 pips, okay? So don't lose any money, guys. We're winning money here, right? 100 pips is $100 on a 0.01. All right, on a 0.02, that's $200. On a 0.03, that's $300. And it just goes on and on, okay? That's a live call, guys. It doesn't get any sweeter, any more beautiful than that, okay? Come on, y'all. 100 pips in profit. I don't know what other streamer on TradingView is doing the same thing as I am. I don't know if anyone can even replicate the type of profit or the type of entries that I grab using this strategy. Guys, we are unique. I'm telling you, I made this strategy from scratch, okay? Using different strategies together, using smart money concept, using divergence, using Wyckoff, and just jotting in all of those. All right, so what do I think about German 30? I say, who's that? I say, who's that? All right, so Hold on, gang. I'm still here. All right, so I was kind of just looking at what had happened with gold because one of my premium mentorship people was telling me why it dropped. Not quite sure if news really had direct correlation with gold, but I did see that gold did drop a little bit more. I did want it to kind of drop though because I wanted it to touch our entries. So hopefully from here we'll continue to go back to the upside. Now, besides that, another new premium mentorship person wanted me to say if there's going to be any signals for JR30, since I only dropped US30 on our premium signals chat, even though just US30 alone will feed a cow or a huge village. But I guess, you know, they like more. US30 is currently up 116 pips from advanced entry. All right, we called it. Boom, boom, bow. Touched it, up 135 pips. So, I mean, if you didn't take that signal, I'm very sorry. When I drop my signals and when I drop the charts, it's done deal. It's you like you know I mean, like enter if you believe in yourself, enter if you believe in me, and everything else like that. But yeah, don't take them for granted, guys. Opportunities like this really only come every so often and during the weeks. So yeah. Da da da. To noise. Yup. Can you explain the divergence part, please? Uh, year. The divergence is basically just when price between daily price action, your RSI is marking different. So let's say on my price action, this is a higher low, but this is a lower low. But when you open up the RSI, this is a lower low and this is your higher low. So it's just marking opposites between the RSI and daily price action, which tells you that it's showing divergence. Okay, so divergence is an opposite correlation of daily price action and the RSI. Okay, that's what divergence part is. So yeah, lots of money on JR30 with this beautiful entry wick. I mean, just wicked in, ranged all the way up to 140. Now it came back down to 114. So it's kind of breathing in and out. Let's continue to give it time. It even showed divergence again, right? So marking up my divergence right here, bop, bop, and the buy call. So I do see this ranging a little bit higher. Let's just give it time, guys. We already hit 135 pips of profit this morning, which is more than every daily trader kind of goes for just kind of aiming for 50 pips. We already hit 130, and I do see it climbing higher and higher as time progresses. Even if it kind of stays still and it starts to drop back up and down, I do see it continuing to the upside with time. All right, so let's see if we can find a signal for JR30 for our premium signals chat as well for you guys all at once. All right, so rotating around the 1 minute time frame, which I mean, I would give out signals like pancakes on the 1 minute time frame because this is where it's hot. Okay, as you can see, there's already been a good amount of signals. Divergence just today during London session, so today in the earlier hours of the morning, we do see how from 3 in the morning all the way to 4:28 was showing a lot of divergence on JR30. JR30 being my favorite pair when you are trading London session, since it is an Eastern indice and it's not a Western indice such as US30, SPX, and NAS 100, as well as Japan 225. I'm sure it had a great amount of volatility yesterday as well during London session. Let's go ahead and check that out. So London session was around 3 something in the morning, right? Look at it. Everything that we speak, guys, is the truth. We're not here trying to cop. I'm not here trying to give you incorrect information that then you will carry on or pass over to anyone else. Guys, over here, we either speak facts or we keep quiet, okay? That's literally all I do. Either I know what the fuck I'm talking about, or I'll tell you, look, honestly, I don't know. I need to do more research on this fact, okay? So London session, Japan 225 and JR30 taking off. You can see the divergence right there, very clear as day on the RSI, right? So on the chart, how would that have been? All right, so it went all the way. This is the last red candle. This is the second red candle, right? So from our level of resistance going down, we can't pierce through candles. So we need to see that this is a green candle, okay? So let's draw it on this red candle, all right? So we would have waited for the very next red candle. That would have been our buy limit. On the 1 minute time frame for Japan 225, our advanced buy limit being down here, that wouldn't have activated. And then you would have been in profit around 278 pips on Japan 225. So you would have ate a lot, okay? Just today, London session. So literally the same strategy just today and the earlier hours. Okay, now during US session, which is from 9:30 and beyond, you see how the Western indices do have great deals of volatility, yet the Eastern indices, they didn't really move too much like Japan 225. I would have. JER 30 does move a little bit more during the US session, but Japan 225 didn't really move too much. But it was still showing divergence up here, did it not? Look, it was showing divergence for a sell. Okay, showing divergence for a sell, kind of giving you the signals. Okay, even right here we can see how this was a higher low, this was the highest high, then higher low, and another higher low consecutively. Okay, draw that visual representation. Then we go back here to 939 all the way through, red followed by green trend line from the last level of support, which is right here. Bang, we're waiting for that breakout. The breakout happens completely with this body of this candle. Does everyone follow? So divergence from 939 to around 10:01 in the morning, red followed by green trend line from the last level of support. It breaks through with this candle officially because the body of that candle literally steeps through, and the signal call would have been right here. It would have activated you with this minute candle, and then it would have dropped for today, and that would have been the sell on Japan 225 for today. Okay, ranging around 165 pips on Japan 225, which is very fire. Now what happens? Okay, so now let's go ahead and give out just a little signal for Japan 225, since I do see it forming divergence from here. Okay, we see it as clear as day. All right, so from 1042 to 1055. All right, 1042 to 1055. All right, everyone follows. Okay, perfect. Now green followed by red, we draw our trend line from the last level of resistance. Now we kind of have to give it just a little bit more time, so we weren't able to even, grab an entry, let's say at that red candle right here, because we're eating through a bunch of candles. So just be patient. Okay, we are waiting for another red candle now. We're waiting for a red candle to be able to just leave this trend line right on top of that red candle. Let's say, for example, that this right here, perfect. Good shit, Ivan. Okay, delete this. So let's just say for whatever reason that this is the actual red candle right now, okay? So if this was the red candle, we draw it right here, the trend line. We'd be waiting for price. We'd be waiting for price to have a breakout with the body being this, then the buy limit and the advanced buy limit down at this section. Then we would want it to either bop around, maybe come back down, and then continue to the upside. Okay? But till that happens, honestly, we don't have any signal for Japan 225 right now. Although the sell signal already went through, which was the signal call for this US session, it went down. Right here, it showed divergence for the buy call. So it bought up 100 pips and it sold back down 183 pips for Japan 225 on the 1 minute time frame. I'm obviously not an octopus and I can't be on like hella indices all at the same time. But at the same time, guys, that's why I'm trying to educate you guys to have more eyes in the market. You guys can be like, hey, what do you see for this? Or hey, what do you see for that? Or you start to get the hang of the divergence strategy, all right? It's only 4 steps, all right? Previously mentioned on our US 30 chart over here, okay? So step 1 is to find divergence. Step 2, to draw a trend line. Step 3, to wait for the breakout, which means the body of the candle will go above that trend line, and then the market execution followed by the advanced entry. That's basically it, guys. That's what we did today for US 30. I know it seems like easy, and it should be easy, okay? Trading should be fun. Trading should be easy. But again, guys, today I am going to tell you a little bit of a secret. I am running on really high levels of positivity and as well meditation. So it's not just me hopping on these charts and be like, bang, that's what it is, that's what it is. All right, everyone's making profit. I do train my mindset. I do, I'm an active reader on Becoming Supernatural. This book, very great book. I do recommend it. It's by Dr. Joe Dispenza, just in case you're able to get a free PDF file from the internet. We know that most books are on the internet for free under PDF files. That is a great book. It does kind of revolve around spirituality, but it's the truth, guys. If you're not vibrating at a high frequency, if you're not coming from a frequency of love, of prosperity, of gratitude, of gratefulness, of happiness, right? And you're going from a vibrational standpoint of I need this money. Oh my God, I might lose this money. Oh my God, I need to pay the bills. And you're coming from vibrations of survival. Okay, it's a little bit harder for you to have a really clear mindset of what's going on in the markets when you're having those doubts. You need to be confident in yourself. You need to radiate confidence. You need to radiate light. You need to radiate positivity. You need to radiate affirmations in yourself and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis to then be able to get your mindset and your trading intertwined, and then you're at this level. Okay, it really doesn't take too long. It doesn't take too much, but it is very important, guys. Spirituality and trading is very important. Yeah, so there would be two different buy limits, one buy limit and one advanced buy limit. That's basically how we do it. Christian MA3 was 17. That's how we would do it. So here under the 10-minute time frame, let's see if we can snag on a little bit of a signal. And no, not really, okay? Well, actually, yeah, we could. All right. So, excuse me, guys. Early morning rising. So right here, let's delete all of this. Yep, I want to delete this as well. This leaves my chart pretty clean. Let's look at this from a 1 hour perspective. All right, so 1 hour might want to drop just a little bit more, show divergence, and then start to buy back up. Okay, but from a 10-minute perspective, what we see is that our buy signal call from our RSI divergence indicator that we've modded to the specific numbers is at 58.97% profitable. So when it told us to buy, right, where did it tell us to buy? Okay, because it's very important, right? Where would it tell us to get an entry at? Right here. This is where it told us to get an entry. So it told us to buy literally, okay, literally 2 candles right after. So right here, it hadn't marked out divergence yet, right? Let's peep the RSI and peep where the little arrow goes, all right? All right, so RSI now shows divergence, all right? Marked it up automatically for us. And the very next candle, it confirmed, yes, price is going to go up to the upside. So if you would have bought at this level, just literally even automatic trading from our RSI divergence indicator, I do everything manually because it's more teachable. But if we were just to do shit automatically off this, which again, I have all the numbers for this, I can give it to y'all once you join the premium subscription, right? And then you're able to, let's say that you're in the office, you're at work, whatever it might be, you're able to be profitable, okay, without having to be on the computer. That's 103 pips above entry, okay? Now, if we were to do this manually, we would see the divergence, okay, from here to here. Exactly what we had drawn right here, right? So this green line started here at 3 in the morning, and then it connected all the way to 4:10, all right, which is this red candle. Green followed by red, trend line. It breaks out of it, which is why the arrow told you to buy, and then this would have been your buy limit entry. Your advanced buy limit entry would have been the last trading candle that pushed down before it broke the trend line, okay? So this was the last trading candle that pushed down the lowest. Why the lowest? Because when you measure it, okay, this is below this candle. This body closed here at 156.047. Okay, that's lower than this one that closed at 156.06.10. All right, so just having that in mind, you grab the 50% of this candle, and that's your next buy limit. Now we just fast forward to see what happens, And now we're at those levels where we know that price might just start to shoot up from here. This also on the 10-minute kind of gives me a little bit of a runaround of what Wyckoff schematic is looking like. So what does that mean by that, hijack pips? All right, guys. So when we go here, let's go ahead and it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Besides the signals, right? So Richard D. Wyckoff, okay, one of the concepts that I took my divergence strategy and I made it all intertwined with smart money concept, Wyckoff, institutional trading, okay, and I think it was like another thing, but you know, I don't really say it enough times to have it really on mind, but I took a lot of concepts into one and then smashed them together over a very long period of time of back testing, of configuring, of changing numbers. Guys, it was a process, but I'm really happy that I was able to make this strategy come to life and that I am the sole purpose creator of this strategy. There is no one else around the globe trading exactly the way I am unless they copied it from me. Now, I didn't patent it or anything else like that because, you know, that's some petty shit. But at the same time, it feels good to say that I am the one that created the strategy, period, the divergence strategy that we grabbed US30 entries from today, and all the other entries that I'm about to show you on the daily time frame, and to just take pride in that. Be prideful about that, you know, like I took a lot of time working on that, so it's very good. We're the underdogs. We're not really mainstream. We're not mainstream, you know, channel or anything else like that right now, which gives me more of a catering service for each individual, either on the TradingView Live or on my free signals chat, free chat, and premium chats to be able to cater to you, because I don't have, you know, 600 students or anything else like that where there's like 50 people telling me different questions. Right now, I'm really building every single individual that comes into the premium mentorship, and as well you guys here on the free chat, building you, showing you the algorithm, showing you the strategy, telling you what to do, telling you what not to do, telling you how to save your accounts, all right? And it's a blessing, honestly. It really does make me very happy to see you guys thrive and be successful in such a failure market. Because 96 to 98% of retail traders, they fail, all right? They're not profitable, and that's very sad because there's just so much scams. There's companies like Beyond, there's companies like IML, there's companies like, you know, like just a bunch of other MLMs that are just garbage and just, they don't even teach you anything that a retail trader would know. Really, they're not really that exclusive. So they're just more about bringing people in, and continuing to build that pyramid scheme that they have going on. And that's about it. So right now with Xrp, I do see this kind of setup happening, or this setup. So it's in an accumulation phase. All right, let me go ahead and flick back to Xrp so you're able to see that. And for everyone that is part of an MLM, and I maybe, you know what I mean, for whatever reason kind of offended you, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Your MLMs are garbage and your shit is not true. Even though you might find to see that some people are profitable, those are only the people that are way above you, making a $10,000 income a month basis off every single recruiter that you brought in. So they're smashing high lot sizes and catching 20 pips and then making $2,000 and then saying, oh, look, we're profitable. I caught 20 pips. I made $2,000. But are you going to really make that money? Hell the fuck no. You're going into the market where like $200, $100, making 20 bucks to $2 and then losing your capital because you're not making $10,000 a month to be able to catch 3-4 trades a month and then catch $2,000. All right. So it's unrealistic. All right, you guys need to think about that for each and every one of you that's in an MLM, paying them $150 a month for everything, and then not even really learning, and then coming to TradingView live streams because you're not even able to learn off your own MLM, like IML, like Beyond, and all the other things. All right. So reading the comments section, Singy, Hi, just wondering if bearish divergence is showing on the 1 minute, but the hourly or daily shows bullish divergence. Does the larger time frame supersede the lower time frame? Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what happens. So the larger time frame will show you what to hold for longer and what to short for shorter. Okay, so if the overall time frame on the daily is selling, then you're going to long the sells and short the buys. Now, it does not mean that US 30 is being bearish. So is it going to go bullish because we're trading off the 15 minute? You just have to believe, okay? On the 15 minute is way different than the daily or the weekly time frame because there's so many candles that are going to print out on the 5 or on the 1 minute time frame compared to a daily signal. All right, a daily is 24 hours. All right, and 1 hour is 60 minutes. So that's 60 times 24, which would equal a whole 1 minute cycle. So in the 1 minute, we're able to scalp up and down, 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 okay, and still be extremely profitable aside from the daily time frame, which is more of a swing trade. That's when we know we're scalpers, intraday traders on the 1 hour, or swingers on the dailies. So that's the information I can give you. Sing, unknown tracer bunny. Hi, what up, unknown tracer bunny? Nice to see you on the chats. Um, this is kind of the first time that I ever see you on the chat, so welcome in. I'm gonna call you Unknown Bunny. I kind of give a nickname to most of the people that I see on the chats. That's how I'm able to remember them for longer, for you to come back and stuff like this. All right, so Xrp 30 is showing an accumulation phase on the 10 minute. This was a distribution phase. Let's go ahead and quickly look at the distribution phase around Wyckoff method. So distribution is this, the distribution phase. This is distribution phase number 2, distribution phase number 1. Now let's flick it back to Xrp 30 quickly on the 10-minute time frame. Distribution phase. Now it drops, right? Thunderbolts down. Now we're in the accumulation phase. Now let's flick it back to the Wyckoff page to show accumulation, okay? Scroll up, accumulation number 2. Do you see how it thunderbolts down, then comes up to test AR and this, which are the resistance lines? We see ourselves around here at STM phase B currently on our entries, and we see that it's going to push to the upside. Xrp 30, hint, that's the signal, okay? Accumulation phase number 1 says it thunderbolts down, it comes up for the resistance lines, then comes back down for the spring to touch advanced buy limit, and then thunderbolt back to the upside. So let's flick it back to Xrp 30. That's what we see currently here. Okay, we see the resistance lines being this one and this one, okay? If we throw this into a line piece, we see the thunderbolt down, 1 tip, 2 tips, okay? Let's go back into the Wyckoff schematic quickly. All right, thunderbolt down, 1 tip, 2 tips. Yes or yes? Thunderbolt down, 1 tip, 2 tips. Yes or yes? The answer is motherfucking yes, okay? Now let's go back to Xrp 30 for the last time. I'm going to exit out of the Wyckoff tab because we really don't need that much anymore. These are the signals, okay? So I would go ahead and write advanced buy limit. All right, wait, hold on. Kind of type it the way I like to type it. $15608.5 is where I would have it. Let's see if I make this into a 0. Yeah, I like it more at a 0. So 15,608 is the advanced buy limit, and our buy limit is at 15,622. It's right, 22. Why 22? Because I'm just gonna round the nearest millipip. Oh, I didn't even write buy limit. Excuse me, team. So buy limit here at 15622. Okay, Let's go ahead and range this in. Perfect. That's what I see for Xrp happening, okay? That would be our buy limits. We would want to see it kind of creep up to the upside, and that's what we have, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and kind of bring in everything else that I have on my US30 onto this. All right, so our advanced buy limit went up in profit around 130 pips, came back down. Now it's in profit 35 pips, so we're still in profit. Guys, just remember, this is going to take longer than just a quick scalp on the 1 minute time frame, okay? 1 minute time frame, when I'm trading the 1 minute time frame, that will be tomorrow and Friday. We're going to be in and out the markets, 30 pips, 30 pips, 30, 50 pips, 30, 50 pips, 30, 50 pips on US 30, in and out. These signals that I'm giving out for here are going to be longer, okay? It's not going to be a swing. It's going to be intradays, which means what? Intraday means that from here to next week, Monday, Tuesday, this should have already smacked and gone up all the way to the gap, okay? So it should have climbed up already. But we do need a few more days, okay? Now, what I came to get here was the text. So I think it's like under the 1 hour right here. Let me copy and paste this into Xrp. So I'm able to just transfer this around. Perfect. Space. Perfect. So now let's go ahead and set everything up. And that's the signal, y'all. That's all she wrote. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. It's looking like price kind of pushed down a little bit lower, so we would have to trail this. It looks like we could grab even better entries than these right here, but let me go ahead and leave these entries. We'll go ahead and look at SPX 500 right after. Alright, so that's journey 30 for you guys. These are the levels of resistance, just as the Wyckoff method had described. So it is going to push up, then down, and then finally start to push up in the next maybe like, I would say maybe like day or two. Alright, perfect. So JUR 30 completely done. US 30 is done. Let's go to SP. SP, continuing a divergence to the side. That's good. That's perfect. Just give it some time, guys. This one has no signal yet. These would be my buy stops. This would be my target profit. I'm waiting for it to break to the upside for it to show us finally a signal. Right now, I don't see a signal, okay? So we just wait. We're patient. US 30 shot us a signal. A little bit different. But yeah, it is a little bit different, right? It didn't come back down and fill in these reds. It went up, hit TP, TP 1, 2, 3, 4, came back down. If it touches again, I would then re-enter TP 1, 2, 3, 4 and wait for it for the next 2 days. All right. So SPX 500, nothing, but we did get a JUR 30 signal. Okay, that's about it. Okay. Let me go ahead and put that down on our premium chat. Alrighty then. All right, now let me read the comment section. All right, so Christian MA, you mentioned you work with 3 different brokers. I did some research and want to know if you can clarify something. The brokers have different deposit methods, mainly Bitcoin. Can I withdraw more after the amount I deposited in? What did that mean? Okay, so The brokers have different deposit methods, mainly Bitcoin. Can I withdraw more after the amount I deposited in? So if you deposit, let's say $500, and then you make profit of like 1,500, yeah, absolutely, you can withdraw everything. You could withdraw the whole 1,500, or just keep, or withdraw 1,000. Like even if you deposit $300 and then you want to withdraw 600, as long as you made it on the account already, like let's say you deposit $300 and then you trade, and then through your trades you're up now 2,000 on that account. Yeah, you're able to withdraw as much as you want, if not everything. So I hope that answers your question. All right, so Singy, hi, just wondering if bearish divergence is showing on the 1 minute, the hourly. Okay, supersede. All right, I did answer that one. Hi, welcome Unknown Bunny. What's the website? It's jacobnets.com. So it's this right here, exactly as you see it, exactly as I'm going to write it down right now. Just write Jacob Nets, and then right after Jacob Nets, write .com, and it's going to go ahead and send you in there, okay? So just jacobnets.com, and it should look exactly like this for the web page, so that you're able to oh, I guess I wrote it wrong. I wrote Jacob Net. All right, hold on. All right, so as long as you write the exact same thing I'm writing, right? Jacob Nets, and then just write .com, then this is my webpage, all right? jacobnets.com, what we do, what we offer, you know, paid access to the premium mentorship, what I'm going to be offering on there, all right? A little bit more about me. That's me before the mustache, right? So, yep, that's the webpage, all right? jacobnets.com. Perfect. All right, cool. So going back, thank you. It does answer my question. Awesome. I'm very happy. So Singy, now going on to you, my friend. Sing. I got you. So it might come with practice, but when drawing trend lines, I've noticed that on occasions the trend continues and doesn't break through. I suppose this is good confirmation not to get into a bad trade. But if the RSI shows higher high than the previous high, okay, and price shows a higher high, is divergence signal no longer relevant and move on to the next signal? All right, so I'm not really understanding to perfection what you mean by this. Let me reread it again. If the RSI shows a higher high than the previous high, all right, so it would show higher high than the previous high. Okay, so high and then higher high than the previous high. So something like this on the RSI. So higher high than the previous high. Okay. Now it says, so if the RSI shows a higher high than the previous high and the price shows a higher high, is the divergence signal no longer relevant? Yes, it'll no longer be relevant if both of them do this. And let's say this goes up like that, right? Let's connect these. Let's say it made a lower high and then a higher high on both the RSI and the chart, so it looks exactly the same, then yeah, it's not actually valid. That is not a valid divergence. Divergence is when, let's say, this would be higher, right? This would be higher but lower, and then this as well would be different, okay? So hold on. This is what you're asking. If the RSI is showing a higher high than the previous high, and the daily chart is showing as well the same thing, a higher high than the previous high, is it divergence? No, this would not be divergence. This would be just normal price action. So this really does not revolve around what we do. This would be just regular price action, just price doing its thing. Now, if it goes up and it shows a higher high and then a lower high, like this, but on the chart, it shows a lower high and then a higher high. This is divergence, right? Because this is a higher high followed by a lower high, and this is a lower high followed by a higher high, divergence, okay? So opposites, higher high, lower high, higher high, divergence. If they both mark up just exactly the same, then no, it wouldn't be a divergence call. I do have a little example cheat sheet that I think maybe I can pull up. Hold on. And that again, you'll get more information once you join the premium mentorship. I do have all of these already done. Okay, let me go ahead and show now just this right here. So this is what you would kind of be looking at, okay? So the first one, right, the number one regular divergence is RSI, and the blue is the daily price action, and the red would be the RSI, okay? So as you can see, lower high, higher high, okay? Lower high, higher high, but higher high, higher low, divergence. This is bearish divergence. This is bullish divergence, okay? Hidden divergence, exaggerated divergence. Hidden divergence, we do not trade, okay? So do not worry about this. All we focus on is regular and exaggerated. Exaggerated meaning that it has the same level of price point on the daily price action, but it is indeed showing a difference on the RSI. Here, lower high, higher high, higher high, higher low, divergence between the daily price action and RSI. So regular divergence, exaggerated divergence, okay? Yes, but if you had divergence signal before. No, if you had divergence signal before and now it's showing that, then it's just invalidated. There is some instances where divergence is invalid and invalidated, and I do explain that on the premium. You know, I have videos already showing examples on our academy, showing what invalid divergence would look like, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what I can give you as an answer for that. All right, guys, now that it is almost 12 p.m. Eastern time, that's around the time I usually get off from giving you guys signals and working and giving you guys free everything, right? Because this is for free, by the way. So here on the US 30, we see it kind of dropping back a little bit more. Hopefully going to touch entry and wobble around and then lift back up for the days to come. Let's just be patient with that. Let's quickly just run through the daily signals and see which ones are looking great. Bitcoin looking like advanced sell limit. Sell limit is going to come back up in touch and then sell. XMO USD, I would buy this motherfucker and invest in it. Dogecoin, no divergence, kind of coming back down to 24 cents. I told yesterday that I would invest into Dogecoin anywhere from literally 20 cents to 25 cents. So it's still in that investing zone. Yesterday, it was able to climb all the way down to 21.15, which was fire to have bought at that level. If we would have dropped it, it didn't show divergence on this. Let's see if it showed divergence on the 10-minute time frame. No, not really, not yet. Just kind of going sideways. But it's building in buyers and sellers to then explode, okay? Make a big move. Let's go back to the daily. All right, Dash USD, not showing divergence, but I do see Dash USD continuing to the upside. It did show divergence for the sell. The sell then turned into a buy, and I do see it continuing to the upside, which is why I have that arrow pointing to the skies, okay? Okay. XRP USD, showing divergence on XRP USD like Bitcoin is on the daily time frame. As you can see from here all the way to the side, reds, we're waiting for a green to draw our trend line from here on. Let me delete this, which I think is our fib. Is that an overall fib on the weekly? Yeah. From the lowest point, which is right here, to the highest point, this is where we see XRP at, which is great because XRP right now is under the golden zone. It's then going to touch the golden zone, and after it touches the golden zone, it's going to go for new highs, okay? And it is going to fill in this wick of $3.34. That's what I see for XRP. It is going to continue to the upside, guys. Don't be fooled by this bearish kind of place, all right? We're waiting for this to go ahead and show a green candle to then be able to sell it, to then show a little bit more consolidation, and then buy it back to the upside. Okay, perfect. Let's see what that means. NAS 100 breaking box to the downside. Oh, okay, because it was stuck in this box. It kind of pushed to the downside. I boxed it in right here to see where NAS 100 would be going to next. Since it was showing just a great amount of divergence right here all the way to the side, I thought, okay, let me box this in. Let me see if divergence is going to flow through, and then it's going to break divergence and just continue to the bottom. But I still see it recovering. It just needs a little bit more time. Okay, cool. Let's go back to the dailies. We were at XRP. So be patient with XRP, y'all. Let me delete this fib because it is a little confusing, okay? We'll just draw this box right here to kind of just have that as a golden area. So from $1.26 to $1.66 is that golden area. Let's go ahead and delete it. We don't really need that anymore. We are seeing a little bit of resistance now hitting this box again for the second time. So we would want to see it push down a little bit, right? And then kind of just break that box to the upside, retest the box at $1.66, and then continue into projection to possibly hit $3, wherever that was at over here, okay? That's what we see, team. Stay tuned. All right, let's go down. So Ethereum USD also showing divergence, all right? Right off the nickels. All right, we had some buy limits set for Ethereum. It went up around 181 pips, which is fire. Before that, during July, May, when I bid my Bitcoin buys, which were up $74,000 in, we bought Ethereum, we bought Bitcoin. I already took my Ethereum buys out. I'm still in Bitcoin though, and it shot up, you know, around 2,000 pips, 1,618 pips, which is amazing. That's why I have these here, because it's just track record for myself, right? These were beautiful fucking entries, guys. Honestly, I'm sorry for the language, but I mean, it was just extremely profitable on a daily time frame. Now, here we see that stuck in a little bit of a range. Let's delete that. Let's delete this. Those are our buy limits. Right now, we see it pushing from this level of August 7th all the way through to this level, right? This green candle, dropping red candles. We're waiting for the green candle to then draw that trend line, and as well then follow through with exactly what the fuck Bitcoin is doing, which we're waiting and anticipating to sell on Bitcoin to then grab momentum and then you reach new highs. Okay, so the same thing that's happening on XRP and Ethereum, Bitcoin's already doing it because Bitcoin is the granddaddy of all the other cryptos. If Bitcoin moves to the upside, you best believe I'll bet my nuts on it that every other altcoin that's actually in rotation of popularity will also go to the upside. Okay, any questions right now? No questions. Perfect. All right, let's keep going. Ethereum Classic, another very good altcoin that I would invest in. So XMO and Ethereum Classic looking like beautiful altcoins that are still great. Okay, cool. So I still see it pushing up to the upside, all right? So doing great, doing great, doing great. Let's look at LTC, Litecoin. Litecoin's a little expensive right now at 178. Ethereum Classic is obviously a little bit cheaper. XMO being at 6 cents or some shit like that is the one I would drop the most money in. But Litecoin looking good as well, kind of showing a little bit of divergence, but I don't really see too much movement on Litecoin for now. I still want to see a little bit more of a sell, exactly like what's going on in every other crypto, right? Let's look at Link USD. Link USD is showing divergence, red followed by green, and let's wait on that, okay? Also have the overall fib just to kind of guide me and to see where that golden ratio of investment is at. Every time you go on the golden ratio of investment, all right, it went up, went back down, golden ratio, went back up, finding some support. Maybe might dump to the 0.50, find some consolidation support there, and then reach and break out of $52 and continue to the upside. OMG USD, kind of the same thing. All of the cryptos really look almost exactly identical, right? In respect to Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, Link USD, OMG USD. Now, SHIB USDT is that pair, right? It's that pair, right? A lot of people want to invest into Shibu because Dogecoin and Shibu is the little brother of Dogecoin. And although, you know, I'm not quite sure what happened here. What happened? It is like frozen or something. All right, cool. Let me just refresh the stream, guys. And we're back. Okay, sorry for that. Kind of had a little bit of a hiccup there with TradingView. All right, so as I was saying, when cryptos have that really long wick to the up top and it mitigates, okay, it's going to mitigate off that wick again. Look at this wick, it filled it in. Look at this wick, it's going to fill it in on Ethereum Classic, on God, okay? Now, when we go to XMO, which is that pair, look at that long ass wick to the upside. It's going to mitigate and fill in that wick to the upside, guys. You're going to see, okay, I'm saying it today, September 8th, 2021, that this is a fire altcoin to invest in as well. It's backed up by the British. So I see it ranging up to the up top, okay? All right, so now we're down at Shibu. Shibu mitigated, then filled it in. Okay, mitigate, then fills in. All right, and now it's ranging in. I would still invest into Shibu. I wouldn't invest as hardcore, but I would still invest because I would see it exploding again, maybe having like a little bit of a climb to maybe over here. All right, maybe at the 20, not surpassing this, but maybe going up, then going back down, then surpassing at all-time highs, okay? ZEC USD, all right, Zcash, I see it that it is going to fill in that wick and mitigate off of it. But for now, it's doing its own thing, showing divergence in my sell back to the support area of $90, $95, and then hopefully go back to the upside. USDT is showing that divergence, which is why I have it all marked up. All right, Polkadot, I would want to see it kind of going up a little bit higher than showing divergence, selling, consolidating, and then going back to the upside. My levels of investment would be at $26 and $21 to $20 for Polkadot, much like Dogecoin, right? At 25 cents. This one as well at $20 to $26. And as you can see, it just kind of ranged to the downside, but it was at an overall of $50. And I would want to see it climb back up to $50. You can see this red wick, right? That mitigated and went back up, and then it filled in that wick, okay? Again, hint, hint, that shit's going to fill in the wick for XMO, okay? All right, so let's continue to go down. Then we have this thing over here that one of my premium mentorship people have invested in. I don't know how the fuck to feel about this because this is just insane, okay? It looks like it just went in, opened, and then they just took the investment out and it just died to the floor beyond belief. These numbers are scary to me, and I really don't understand what the fuck that means. So honestly, it is what it is. The dollar came into our entry of sell limit. I still see it kind of ranging a little bit more to go to the upside and touch our advanced sell limit, okay? And then from then on, then sell, but it is at our sell limit for the dollar. EU, I see it coming down exactly as this drawing is indicating and touching our advanced entry. AU, looking like these are the buy limits. GU, these are the buy limits, all right? It's already under one of our buy limits. NU, looking like it wants to possibly push the buy limit. I'm not sure about advanced buy limit, but let's stay tuned. Gold, pushing down, okay? I would want to see gold pushing back up again. Okay, it is showing divergence here on the 15-minute time frame, but it needs a little bit more time, and as well in the 1 hour to continue to form to then buy back to the upside. I would want to see perhaps like a short of a buy, not really a long call, because I'm still waiting for gold to kind of come back down a little bit more before it starts to shoot up. Okay. Silver, same thing. Silver broke out. This is our buy limit. It's currently under the buy limit. I still see it wanting to push up a little bit more, maybe coming down to this area and then pushing out of it. AUD CAD also looking like a buy limit. Okay, it might come back down. All right, look at this. Lots of action right here. Okay, lots of action, lots of resistance that either it'll break straight through resistance and continue to go to the upside, or it's going to go ahead and find resistance, come back down, touch buy limit, perhaps find some advanced buy limit, and then continue to the upside. Right now from September 1, which is when we gave this signal, it is up 121 pips on AUD CAD, guys, so don't sleep on the signals, all right? We gave that on one of our live streams. Let's continue. AUD JPY, these were the sell limits over here. That happened a while back in June, and it climbed down over 640 pips, which is a blessing. That's $640 on a dollar. That's $320 on a 0.05. Or, I'm guessing that's $64 on a 0.01, which is still a lot of money. All right. So CAD CHF also sell limits here because it showed divergence, bing, bing, bang, to the downside. Now it's showing divergence and wants to buy back up. So we're waiting on that currently. CAD JPY, waiting on that, okay? Euro AUD. This, I think I took it from the 1 hour time frame. Yep, there we go. Look at the divergence on the 1 hour time frame, as we can see. All right, 1 hour time frame divergence signal. I waited. All right, red candle, boom, buy limit right here. Went up around 71 pips, and now it's dancing around. I would want to see it touch back or touch the advance and then continue up, okay? On the actual daily, we also saw a little bit of divergence, which is where we had our buy limits in, and it climbed up 1,000 pips, okay, on those swing trades. Very beautiful, guys. All right, cool. Let's go back to the daily. Let's continue. Euro CAD, sexy. This is a great buy opportunity, okay? When the wizard is out, you already know what's good, okay? So, daily divergence, you see that. It's clear as day, guys. It's really not even that hard to spot out. Divergence, this is going down, wedge, this is going up, wedge. Trend line, right, step 2. Green followed by red, trend line, breakout, step 3. All right, step 4, advanced entry, and we wait. It went all the way down to advanced entry and then bought 300 pips from there. And right now, it is up 129 pips from our buy limit. Keep going down. Euro GBP, another very good one. Up from our advanced buy limit, 93 pips. I do see it popping through our buy limit and continuing to the upside. Even the weekly, all right? Look at the weekly. Divergence on the weekly. Higher low, lower low. Lower low, higher low. Opposites, right? Greens followed by red. That's where I would draw my trend line on the actual weekly time frame, all right? To continue to give us a great analysis that is going to continue to the upside. On the weekly, though, it's been bullish. Look, bullish, bullish, bullish. Not really showing that much divergence. Kind of sold to these prior support levels, but I see it continuing on a bullish pathway. It's been bullish, all right? It started to fall June 9 all the way through. to the 15, and even through COVID 2020. Yes, it did have a little bit of a drop, right? And then it just quickly recovered, and it's just been recovering ever since. I still see Euro GBP on a very bullish pathway, okay? This is the trend line of that bullish trend line that we see all the way grabbing it from the support level, okay? So I see it continuing to the upside, gang. That's what I see for Euro GBP. Our buy limits would be at 0.8940, 0.8940. I mean 0.840, 4940. All right, 0.84940. My bad about that, team. And our regular buy limit at 0.86690. Okay, so let me go ahead and draw that out. Write this in, buy limit 0.86690. A little bit bigger, try this in white. All right, guys, so advanced 0.8, oops, okay, 0.89, 0.4940, 0.84940. All right. So this is our advanced buy limit for Euro GBP on the daily. Euro JPY, we saw divergence. You see it right here, divergence. So we drew our trend lines. It dumped 524 pips. It's looking like it might want to show divergence again and then buy back to the upside. These pairs have usually been bullish for a pretty long time, right? May 2020, when the whole bullshit COVID happened, right? It reached the support levels that it needed to rob liquidity, and now it's been on a bullish pathway. It had a little bit of a pullback, okay, on the weekly. So let's draw a Fibonacci retracement from the last level of support to this level of pullback, okay? We can see how price did dump below the 0.236, which activated our fib, and now it's coming back to the upside. So I see it continuing to the upside. I just see this as a pullback and then continuation. On the daily, we're seeing how it's trying to jot up the divergence right here, okay? So please do peep that, okay? From the last level of resistance, this is the red candle, so everything's drawn out perfectly, and we're seeing perhaps a reversal happening. 50% of this red line of the last trading candle. So that's literally step 1, 2, 3, and 4 quickly drawn out. Let me not delete this because this is still valid information, but step 1, divergence. Step 2, trend line. Step 3, breakout. Step 4, advanced buy limit. Everything's already set, right? Just like that. So I would want to see Euro JPY kind of recovering, which then means that XXX JPY pairs would possibly be recovering, which does have, that would include CAD JPY, okay, even though on the daily time frame, it actually is showing divergence as well on the daily time frame. This is something interesting. Let's go on the weekly and see if this is just a pullback, just like the other pair, okay? So from low to high, we see it break through the 0.236, activating our fib. So it does look like this is just a pullback retracement to then have a continuation to the bullish, okay? The only thing that kind of F's me up is that, yes, it has been on a huge deal of support and it hasn't reached highs for a while. But the overall trend line of that weekly is just literally like just showing bearish since 2007, 2014, and now 2020. Okay, so 2007 to 2015, 14 is 7 years. And then another 7 years from then would be over here, right? So, yeah, because 7 times 3 is 21. All right? So isn't that really interesting, huh? Every 7 years, there's that push, right? So at the 6th year is when it's pushing back up and then pushes down after 7 years. Market's a fluctuation, guys. It continues to do the same shits over and over again, right? So that's why it kind of had me a little bit unsettled, but it does look like it wants to break through that trend line to the upside, and that would be fantastic. Why? Because then we could go ahead and buy and continue to hold them for longer periods of time because the 7-year cycle is over with. Now, let's continue. We were at Euro JPY, GBP CAD, okay? GBP CAD's kind of stuck in a range right now. I don't really like GBP CAD or how it looks like, to be honest. Now, I'm not trying to be racist with JBP CAD, but I just don't like it. You know what I mean? It's just been ping-ponging up and down. Very inconsistent as well. On the 1 hour time frame, I would probably be trading it, just finding divergence on it. But until further notice, this shit's literally just fucking going sideways, consolidating on it. So I would kind of just trade this on the levels of support and resistance and just kind of keep it very fucking basic because there's not huge amounts of volatility moving up and down with GBP CAD for the daily. GPCHF is something that I have been waiting for because it did show divergence up here, which then now I would want it to continue to push down to the downside. Okay, I've been waiting for GBP-CHF to break this box of consolidation to the downside, and you can see how it's been trying to. So on the smaller time frames, if we catch divergence on the upside, right, just like here on the 4 hour sell, it almost broke the box, then showed divergence back up. It still needs a little bit more push to the upside to then set it back down, and then that would be the signal. Let's go to GN. Okay, so GN looking like it's going to want to buy from here. That's why I have these buy things, okay? It's ranging from up all the way down, but these are the last area of supports that I see it wanting to push down to and then pushing back to the upside. Not really sure why people are so crazy about the GBP pairs. They're not really as sexy to me in my eyes. They're quite messy and just all over the place. So not really sure why people like to trade this shit, but you know, it is what it is. On the daily time frame for GBP JPY, we are seeing divergence on it. Okay, it's contested, so this is that hidden divergence that I was talking about. Kind of needs a little bit more time. GBP JPY was the one that gave us 630 pips and then literally just revolved back to the upside. Now it's just consolidating. So I'm still waiting for it to kind of show me a better move. USD CAD looking like it's going to want to literally sell from here. Okay. I would already kind of jot this down because red followed by green trend line. It finally broke out on September 2, which is what I was waiting for. Right now we're on September 7. So I would want to have this exactly like this. I'm going to show you right now. Okay. Sell limit right here for USD CAD sells. Okay. This is a new signal. All of these signals, I am going to be printing them out for our premium chats. Our premium signal chat, 1.26097. Okay, so sell limit here. And my advanced sell limit at the 50% of this highest trading candle, which you can already see how it touched. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to give out this signal faster, but it literally mitigated off of there and dumped down 91 pips into profit. I'm hoping that it'll come back just one last fucking time and touch that level again for everyone to be able to be in again and be able to be hella profitable. But if not, then just put a sell stop here and just continue to hold that through, because I do see USD CAD dumping back down to around these levels over here, maybe grabbing some support and then pushing back to the upside. We got the buy successfully during May, and we were able to even push up 600, almost 700 pips of profit. On the weekly overall, when you see this pair, right, it's been bullish, okay? Then it had that double top bearish. I do see it kind of filling this in and then wanting to then continue to the downside. And that's what I see USD CAD doing, which is why on the daily it's showing divergence, and these are our sell limits, guys. So please take a screenshot of this and a mental note, okay, that this will continue to the downside. I am going to be reviewing this as the time goes by for tomorrow and Friday. USD CHF on the daily time frame. This is my buy limit over here, okay? I do want to see it break this trend line and continue to the upside. That's something that USD CHF, like I had mentioned earlier on today on the live stream, It is showing divergence on the weekly, and the weekly has very strong influence over the whole direction of price because it's the weekly time frame. It's the big kahuna. It's the biggest time frame. USD JPY was kind of shitty. Okay, again, excuse my language, but it did go down around 1,200 pips. Okay, a lot more than GBP JPY's garbage ass, right? But now let's see what's happening, because now it's just consolidating to the side, kind of touched our entry again. Perhaps I would see this falling more, USD JPY to the downside, JPY gaining more momentum over USD. So let's see. Then we have pairs such as Tesla, which I've been announcing and literally crying out loud like wolf crying, right? Telling you guys that it's going to fill in this gap. So I still see Tesla's continuing on a bullish pathway before showing divergence and then settling back down. Maybe when those iRobots come out, you know, that they are working on iRobots type shit. People are going to have that as a negative speculation. Then they're going to be like, oh, well, maybe we can send them to space and then not really have to, like, you know, jeopardize our own human resources. We'll just send robots into space. It's maybe a good thing. And then shit will boom to new highs again. Tesla has been booming and will boom forever. All right, that's how I see Tesla doing. Tesla's technology and the shit that they have not released to the public yet, but they already made it. Like, Tesla makes their products, they test it, they already have it fucking working, and then they tell the public, hey, this is what we're working on, but they already have it made. Okay, they're 2 steps ahead of the game. That's all I want to say to you guys. Whether you believe me or not is completely up to you. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. I'm just here telling you guys what it is, right? Netflix went ahead and broke through that, and I said it literally, I think even on September 1 when we were doing the stocks, I said it, if Netflix breaks through 593.90, it's bullish. Buy that bitch, throw a high-ass lot size on it, and scalp it. How many pips did it go up? Around 20 points, right? There you go. Amazon. I see Amazon continuing to the upside. I don't see any divergence yet. These are buy limits and buy stops, and they activated here back in March, April, right, of 2021. I'm telling you, I took a 2 to almost 3 month break off the charts, off the live trading through these through TradingView. But guys, I'm back. Okay, look at this profit. Isn't that fucking crazy? That's almost 700 pips of profit on Amazon since we called it. We short this. We short the sells. Look at this buy. Look at this buy, guys. We've been doing this for a long time now. AMC, when this shit was going up, look at my black trend lines before when I had my previous chart, my white background chart. As you can see, everything here is pre-recorded, right? It's literally here. I had my white chart, so I was using black trend lines. All right, now I'm using a black chart, so I'm using white trend lines, kind of just changing it up a little bit. Kind of evolving as I go, right? Becoming the best version of myself. There's a lot of hype, AMC buy. Oh my God, it's going to fucking reach. Like, they were saying that it was going to reach 100. I was like, bruh, it's not going to reach no 100 because it's already showing divergence and it's going to want to come back down. Look at this black arrow right here that I had drawn from June 30th saying that it was going to continue to the downside. And what happened? It continued to the downside. Guys, let's go. We're fucking 7 steps ahead of everyone and every news and everything because we trade divergence. We don't need to be looking at the news. We don't need to be looking at hype. What we need to be doing is looking at the charts and seeking out divergence and then buying that bitch. All right? We see this pushing back to the upside. So officially, another little line. We do see this coming back up. Okay, why do we see this coming back up, hijack pips? Because we see the divergence between this and this. Right, that's step 1. Step 2, draw a trend line from the last level of resistance down, right? Greens followed by red trend line, right to the side. It popped off, okay? And then it started to buy. Now you do see this gap, because let's not lie to ourselves. We do see this gap. So there is going to be another form of divergence over here, and then it's going to sell down, fill in that gap, and then start to push back up to the upside, okay? That's what we see right now. Let's continue through the stocks. GBP AUD, I see it selling, okay? We'll come back up, touch these entries, and then continue to the downside. GA is the only pair from the GBPs that I kind of fuck with, and I like the way it looks, okay? It showed divergence, red followed by green, trend line too tight, red followed by green candle, trend line just right, step 3, step 4, and now we wait. CRISPR Therapeutics, all right, the motherfuckers that are kind of just changing generic alterations with our DNA codes, with DNA and RNA, and changing the genetics of mosquitoes, changing the genetics of babies, doing crossbreed mutations with babies and animals, because yes, that is motherfucking happening, whether you believe it or not. Conspiracy theories are out there, whether you're a conspiracist or just, you know, a sheeple that just kind of continue on with whatever the fuck the government is trying to tell you, which, you know, most of it is just bullshit anyways. It's all up to you, bro. It's all up to you and what the fuck you believe. I know that CRISPR Therapeutics is going to continue to the upside because I know that they're going to have breakthroughs in maybe cancer patients and changing, you know what I mean, fixing the genetic mutations that happens when you do have cancer to kind of fix that off from your bodies and cells. So CRISPR Therapeutics, I do see it long term as a great investment, and I do see it touching 220 again, $220. And I would buy it at the golden ratio, okay? So anywhere from $115 to $91, that's where I'd be buying. ADA, Cardano USD, finally showing that divergence, okay? Cardano was having a mind of its own, really, kind of separate from Bitcoin. But as we can see, this was the last trading candle that pushed up, right? The highest candle with the body, even though it's a doji, the body of this particular candle closes on the top. Okay, and since it closes on the top, that's where you would want to draw the divergence visual representation to guide you. If you throw this into a line piece, this is the highest point on the chart anyways, okay? Red followed by green. Let's draw a trend line from the last level of support, which is right here. Is it valid? Hell no, right? Now we're waiting for a green candle anywhere around here to be able to draw it, to then see it fall. If not, it's going to show support and then continue to climb for Cardano. So that's what I see for Cardano right now. Cardano USD. Shit is pretty brazy with Cardano. Got a lot of volatility. Just made new highs right now at $2.90. So pretty good, pretty good. US oil. I went ahead and kind of marked this up, and I said that it would sell. Okay, why did we say that it would sell just a little bit? Because the hurricane kind of hit and they stopped oil production in the Gulf. But nonetheless, we do see the divergence right here. So we would want to see it sell, then show divergence for then a buy back to the upside. On the 1 hour time frame, let's look at oil a little bit closer. It showed divergence right here. It bought, it was showing divergence, but continued to the upside like a bull. Then it's consolidating. So either it's going to break this consolidation phase and continue on the bullish pathway momentum, or it's going to finally kind of show divergence up on our levels and then sell. That's US oil. On the 10-minute time frame, let's see. There is perhaps some signals. Yep, a buy right here. Now a sell right here. Let's go on in on the 5-minute time frame. Let's see if today would have been great to trade it. Today's September 8th. London session kind of showed nothing. Then it went up. And now it's expected to go down. So I still see it pushing down. NZD-JPY. Okay, so that XXX-JPY pair, we can see how it did push down. Okay, we can see how it did show divergence. So it's showing divergence for a bull recovery. And it just kind of, like a bull, started to recover pretty quickly, okay? Up 142 pips from that entry. I still see it maybe recovering, then showing divergence, and falling back down for NZD-JPY. PUBM was someone that told me that they wanted to invest long-term for this. This was back in June when I was live streaming. June and May, June, right? I was live streaming for my birthday and birthday month and June, and then I stopped. July, August, and then now I'm back in September. So I took again a 2.5 month break just for my mental sanity, just to protect, my happiness, as well as start meditating, as well as work on myself, as well as start moving things around in my personal apartment and settling into my new apartment. So this coming down, then coming back up, then coming back down. I still see PUBM taking off to the upside because of the crash that it had. I still see PUBM pushing to the upside, okay, as I had drawn out before. That's why I don't delete the drawing, the noodle drawings, because they do come to life. Bitcoin right now, right, I already have that set, kind of, this is my second Bitcoin broker chart just for me to chart up. This is what I had charted up during May, June, July, and that's what I took as a buy at 35,000, something like that, and then we're up. We were up a total of 18,000 pips. Now we're up 12,000 pips. I still see it recovering a little bit more, which is then when I'm going to take off my profits of around, whatever I might be up. Who cares? I've already said it like twice in this live stream. All right, GRGW. These are the gaps of target. All right, Grow Generation Corp is weed stocks for marijuana, cannabis, that good old smoking, right? We do see it wanting to push down, show divergence, and then start to climb up from time to come as, they start legalizing it, all of that good stuff. It's going to buy. IBM, I still see it pushing down, slow as fuck, but I do see it pushing down. Home Depot made that gap, coming up. I see it targeting this gap now, okay? Home Depot, before it starts pushing back down, okay? I'm not quite sure what this is. I think this is a lumber industry. I still see it selling till further notice. This is another lumber industry. I do see this buying because of divergence here. Being divergence, step 1, 2, 3, 4 all activated. And I wanted to see close this gap before it's selling back, okay? That's what I want to see out of the Weyerhaeuser, Starbucks. Their cocoa beans, due to climate change, are doing fucking phenomenal because now they're charging more for the cocoa beans, right? Because of the droughts and because of, weather. So it's been going up. NS Energy, right? Nestle, this is the advanced sell limit that touched around August 27. And as you can see, it's a little slow, but I see Nestle selling, okay? AUD, this is the pair that we're waiting for it to break out of the trend line, then come back down into our entries, and then start buying. So I do see AUD, being a buy in the future, although I still see further bearish. Franklin Resources, I see it selling. Neo USD, the altcoin, I see it selling just like Bitcoin, right? We already had their sell limits put. I also told you guys about this earlier on. For whoever took these calls, right, are up in profit like every fucking thing that mostly we do, right? Mostly every single pair that we literally lock and load, shit's in profit. So yeah, that's why, I recommend you guys to join our premium chats. It's $60 a month. Join the free Telegram chat at our website, jacobnets.com. And follow the movement, guys, because this isn't going to stop, right? This is education for a lifetime. Once you literally learn divergence strategy to the T, you're going to be using it on your own, and you're going to be using it as an independent day trader forever. This shit will never change on you guys. It's something beautiful that I know that a lot of people really don't know the magnitude of what I'm doing on this channel or on these streams or personally with my groups. But I know the magnitude of it because I'm the one who made this shit. So you already know. QQQ and then back to Japan 225. And that about wraps up this segment. Okay. All right. So FX Aroncito 987. What's up, FX Aroncito 987? Nice to see you on our streams. FXAA. All right. Hi everyone. Hi OBDXP. What's up? I'm kind of ending the live stream right now. I'm sorry for you to hear that, but we are coming to an end already. It's 12:40. I usually work till 12 or 1 p.m. All right, so I was just doing the recap of every single pair. Please tune into this live stream again. I gave you guys US 30 signals already on this live stream, and they're live. For everyone that put in the advanced buy limit for US 30, today we claimed 130 pips. Easy, no drawback. It wicked in and went up 130 pips. That's $130 on a 0.01 on US 30. That's $260 on a 0.02 on US 30. And, it just goes on from there. Your imagination is where, it might take you. So as we can see, US 30 right here, I gave this signal today. It dropped, touched the advanced buy limit, right? And then went up 135 pips, no drawback, came back down, almost touched the advanced buy limit, and then shot back up another 100 pips. So guys, that's 200 pips, okay? That's not even counting what we're actually ranging for or what we're waiting for on the 1 hour using the same signal. I'm waiting for advanced buy limit to hit this target box to fill in the gap. And that's around, let's see, 536 pips. That's $536 on a 0.01. That's $1,000 on a 0.02. That's $363. And then these snacks mean buy stop snacks, which basically means that once you're up on these, fill in a re-entry, fill in a re-entry, fill in a re-entry, and then walk out with at least 1,000 pips or 700 or 600 pips to kind of like just consolidate and really just push your account to another level. This is all free. And again, I don't see any other live streamer giving you guys live signals the way that I'm doing it and making you guys this amount of profit. We can literally go through streamers and go through streamers, and it's just a bunch of chit chat, a bunch of BS, right? A bunch of like analysis and shit like that. But a signal on a live call and to make you 100 pips right there and then, anyone can draw channels. These are just a bunch of wedges, a bunch of channels, right? Like, are you actually giving me signals or you're just charting up a bunch of shit, right? I'm giving you signals. I'm telling you why. I'm showing you the strategy. I'm making you profit while you're on the live stream. And I'm giving you guys live analysis with entries to all your pairs. Guys, that's the power of Divergence strategy, all right? I don't have to be guessing. I don't have to be waiting for wedges to break. No, okay? That's all I want to say. That about concludes everything. Thank you for tuning in. Please watch this live stream back, just, for your education and everything else and like that. Now or never. I was late, just came to visit and say hello. Seafood Jacob, it's late night here. Good night, everyone. Good night, now or never. Peace out, my brother. Hope you have good dreams, good night rest, lots of health and prosperity. Guys, this wraps up our live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in and having patience and being part of this community. Much love. Remember, join our website, right? Join our free Telegram chat under jacobnet.com. Okay, I'm going to write it here. Jacobnet. Okay, so write Jacobnet just like I wrote it on the comments section, and then just finish it off with .com. Okay, it's gonna send you to this exact web page, which is my web page. Join the Telegram, and that is about it. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.